Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, whatever time it is in your part of the world. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, Joe.
Good early afternoon from
Right?
Phoenix-ish.
Right? I'm in the future from you, right? So
You are.
that's right. I can say that now. Now I'm like Miss Shorty. Now I'm in the future. That's awesome. Yeah, I keep forgetting that we're on a 2 hour time difference now, you and I.
Yep.
So welcome in, Forrest. Micah became a member. Thank you, Micah. We appreciate you being here and we appreciate your support. Dr. Vonda, always welcome in. Good to see you as well. We're going to let everybody get some time to get in here before we get started. We started part one the other day, where we began to review the interviews with Rick Allen, and the first one was with Liggett and Mullins, and then we started the second one with Holman, and we had to finish it. We had to stop because we both had things to do. So we're picking back up today with part two, the second half of that interview, and we still have the phone calls to review as well. And Joe, have you been aware that there's been 100 pages unsealed documents dropped?
I have not. I have seen nothing regarding Delphi. Like the only thing I've seen is what we did yesterday. That's it.
Yeah, we did. There were. I haven't went through all of those. I, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were unsealed because the appellate court wants to see it. I don't know. Hey, Sleuthy may know more than I would about that. I chatted with her briefly earlier about these, and because I saw that they were out, and then I messaged her and I was like, "Do you know where they're at?" And then I found them, so I was like, "Heck yeah!" But I haven't, like I said, I haven't went through all of them yet. But there are like 100 pages of unsealed documents, so um, I don't know what all's in them yet. If we get a chance to start going through those today, we certainly will. Um, because I'm certainly going to sit down and read them this evening. That's going to be like my thing after the show is to do that, because tomorrow's show I don't really have to make a big bunch of plans for. I'll have Miss Shorty on in the morning. Firefly is supposed to join us, and we're going to be doing a big Karen Reid update ahead of her trial. So I plan to dive into those documents this evening and really see what's in there and what it's all about.
There is there is so much going on in true crime right now. It's so hard to pick your battles
Oh,
because it's
if I've been following a case though, it's my battle. I
right,
got
right.
four on
No,
my plate at one
absolutely,
time.
yes.
Yeah,
But
but it's all right. I'm a good multitasker, and if I got my folders and I got all my shit organized on my computer, and I know my go-to people for my resources. Usually, I can pretty well stay organized. But yeah, covering four at one time is it's a lot to juggle, but I'm doing it. They're all on orders on requests for funding. That's what I thought, Sleuthy. The appellate counsel was asking for them for their record. Some of them are nothing burgers, some are extremely unprofessional and baffling. I kind of
hmm,
got that impression as I began to glance through them. There's stuff in there about the financials, about what this they wouldn't give the state as far as defense funding goes to, hire experts and this and that. All that's in there. So I definitely want to read through all of that. See what else kind of shade we can pick up on from the state of Indiana. Thank you, Forrest, for reminding us. If you guys don't mind, please hit the like and subscribe button and all that good fun stuff that we're supposed to be doing. We appreciate it. I gotta change that. Y'all are not supposed to be in blue. Our color around here is yellow. I flaked this morning on or this. I said this morning. I'm so used to streaming in the morning. It's different to do it in the evening.
yeah. What I meant by pick your battles is
Mhm.
like when I'm attending Lori's trial, I'm in court or around the court and doing my post daily recap, 15 and a half hours a day. So I count on people like you to be there looking at the Delphi documents and presenting this, what we're going to look at today. So this
Oh
is
hell
awesome.
yeah! I've been streaming Lori's trial every day. I snuck in the Koberger hearing. I'm trying to get Karen Reid snuck in there too. I'm like a little bit of all of it. Yeah, it's all good. Um, I like to try to stay, like I told you, unless there was some new stuff in Delphi. I was started talking about Delphi. I felt like
Yep.
we were getting nowhere with the conversation, not us or just the Delphi community, but what were we accomplishing anymore? It was giving me a headache, with the state of Indiana and all the bullshit. And I was like, I just need to wait on something else. And then lo and behold, we start getting little things coming out. We got the video from Libby's phone came out, and then that just baffled us all and made us have more questions. And now these damn interviews,
Yeah.
and trying to look at the interviews and evaluate them fairly is really hard. When I was glancing back over some of the Google Drives this morning that even Sleuthy has, and the different testimonies, because when we were watching the first set of interviews, and I was like, wait a minute, that particular thing that just happened in that interview, they made a huge deal about on the witness stand. It made it sound a way that it wasn't. And we weren't there to see it. We were only getting the description of the investigator on the stand telling the story. And that's all that the YouTubers could write down that were there that day, was his description of his story. And it's not matching what we see in those videos. Baffling stuff, man. We're going to get to it, though. Like, Nick started going through them this morning, but I didn't get to finish the video. Oh, there's a lot of them. So, like I said, I don't know what's in all of them yet. Oh, shit. I thought my phone was turned off. I don't even know why that thing's ringing. It don't hardly ever ring. Let me turn that thing off, guys. Sorry. Oops. I hit the wrong button. It scared me too when it started ringing because it was like sitting right in front of me. I was like, whoa. Okay. So did you get some rest now, Joe? Or you caught a little bit since you've had such a long week from the Lori Vallow plate you've been holding?
A little bit of rest, a little bit of rest. What people don't understand is there are still other things besides just Lori going on in my life. So I can't.
Well, I'm sure
So
they do
yeah,
understand. I mean,
right,
work and
yeah,
life outside of
right,
true
exactly.
crime. But
So
I mean, hey,
when I get a 3 day weekend, that's catching up on everything else.
well, you know. Well, like I said, if you had time to do this, that was great. If not, I totally would have understood. Um, okay. Oh, it was the wrong one. I got the wrong interview pulled up. We've already seen that one. Holman's interview. Let's see. Holman's interview, and where he said the sweatpants were sus. Someone said they took all his jeans and they were raided his house, and then said it was sus because he was. Nothing about what Holman says makes any sense, does it, Sleuthy? Um, there's a lot of things I caught during this damn interrogation video. I'm sure you guys, when you were watching it, you were probably just, I could imagine the things you were saying. Dr. K has a question there, Joe. Joe may have left us. We can't hear you, Joe.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me
No,
now?
we can barely hear you. Sounds like you ran away from us.
Can you hear me now? Let me change my microphone. Let's go. Hold on.
Okay, let me pull up the Holman. I don't call it the Reid technique anymore. I call it the Holman technique. I think he made that shit up. All up on his. All right, go ahead and say something, Joe.
Check, check, check. 1, 2.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
There we go. What's the benefit of being there? That's actually a really good question. For me personally, it's being able to see things and experience things that you can't get from the court TV feed. It's being able to see Colby Ryan sitting right in front of me and Kay Woodcock sitting right in front of me, and seeing Lori and Colby make eye contact, and like they held eye contact for like 10 seconds when he was there. And it's being able to see the jurors and see their responses and reactions. And actually, the jury in this case is very stone faced. They don't show a lot of reactions. So when they do, it's a noteworthy occasion. But if I weren't here, I don't know that it wouldn't enhance your experience anymore. I'm not saying that it does.
I mean, like, would you have flown from another part of the country to get there just for that trial if you just
No,
didn't happen
no,
to?
no, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no.
yeah, yeah. Yes, nothing he says makes sense. Girl, the first time I saw this when it first dropped, I was mad. I tried to get a hold of my emotions. I tried to check myself. I spent like 2 days processing this shit, and then covering the other cases. It was kind of like just sitting there, and now I wanted to get to it, and it was a lot to process. And if I hadn't ever heard a word of what was said on that witness stand, you know, it'd be different. But knowing what we know was said compared to what we were actually seeing, it takes on a whole new level. Um, so we had stopped off right here. We still have our timestamp of where we left off, guys. Um, Let me get this going. Now remember, this is the Holman interview. This was done the day that Rick Allen was arrested. For those of you who have been with us, if not, you can catch the first part of this over on part one that Joe and I did yesterday, and it covers the first interview with Mullins, like I said, and then part of this interview, and now we're picking back up on the rest of this one. And I will have comments. I cannot help myself. So here we go.
I don't need your help.
You need help.
Rolling his
You
eyes.
don't think any of this is important?
I think that nothing that you have is going to show me anywhere near.
I think rolling his eyes might be a habit, like some of us have bad habits. And Judge Gold didn't like his eye rolling habit, but you know what? I roll my eyes too if you're fucking accusing me of something, and I'm sitting here telling
Absolutely,
you. You know what I'm saying? Just like, of
absolutely.
course, I don't. Yeah, of course he rolled his eyes. I probably would have done if I'm really innocent and this is happening to me. I'm probably gonna do more than roll my eyes.
Yep.
My face is gonna be saying all kind of shit.
The murder of two little girls. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, we do have that.
You don't. It's not possible.
It is possible.
Whatever.
It kept doing that
I'm
yesterday.
already been dealing with bullshit, having to worry about what you've said to my neighbors, what you said to the people I work with. That's more than I want to deal with. I'm not going to sit here and do this.
Okay. All right, sit tight.
Jesus Christ. Story.
I know I wasn't in there. Could you just give me?
Okay. No.
You don't want to talk about that.
Wait, what happened?
Okay.
What about any of it?
Okay. Well,
That's a good question because this one came from the media as well. This is what they all look like. And remember when we were talking about the when he allegedly read the Miranda rights, but that part was missing from the video we heard about in court? It's missing here as well. And that's the second or third time that that's happened. Now, are they going to blame it on their system? Is it them doing it? It's not me. It's not YouTube. Do you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's on them. It's something on their end. And I don't know what it is because I'm not playing what's his name shit where he edited stuff, for our convenience because he turned into the moral police. This is an unedited version.
what I failed to tell you too is the witnesses saw a gun in your pocket.
That's a lie.
You're saying you didn't have a gun
I'm saying I do not have a gun.
when you were out there.
Did one witness say they saw a description of a man matching Rick Allen and they saw a gun in his pocket? I don't recall one person testifying to that.
No.
Not one.
And you told me earlier no one borrowed that gun.
I probably never would have let somebody borrow my gun.
Probably wouldn't have, but I'm asking you, did you?
No.
Okay. And again, I tried to clarify this earlier. You and I both know I'm not a scientist, and you're not a scientist. But what the scientists are telling me is this extraction mark.
What the scientist?
What scientist?
The scientist.
Like we got a fucking team of scientists like you ain't never seen before, Rick Allen. They're so badass we can't even
What
name
a
them.
fucking joke. The scientists are telling me that's like that's
Yeah.
third level gaslighting. That's
Is
the
that even
scientists.
gaslighting? That's just being ridiculous. Just like the lab wanted me to ask, have you ever loaned your gun out? The fuck the
Oh my.
lab don't care unless there's multiple prints all over it. The lab's going to tell you, here's the results, go figure it out. Not they're not going to come to you and say, hey, you might want to go ask your guy if he ever loaned his gun out, because we think this bullet came from his gun. But what he told him, the lab wanted me to ask you. You fucking liar. Pants on fire.
Is like a fingerprint. It's unique to the gun. I told you that earlier. Do you understand that? It's not unique to that type of gun. It's unique to that specific gun. Just like your fingerprint. If I have a fingerprint, my fingerprint, your fingerprint, and I got a fingerprint at the scene, we match that fingerprint. It's significant to one person. No fingerprints are alike.
And what I'm telling you is there's no way that a bullet from my gun ended up at a murder scene.
And we've been working on this for over 5.5 years. We get a search warrant for your house, find your gun, because we were told when we found that round that it had 3 extraction marks on it. And without a doubt, they would be able to match that extraction mark to the gun. Not type of gun, the gun.
Without a doubt,
We've
3
taken
extraction
multiple
marks.
guns down there, and they have not matched to those extraction marks.
Mm-hmm.
Your gun does, 100% without a doubt. It's in this certificate of analysis. The
100% without a doubt.
You know what? That's what they claimed in trial, and that's what the jury believed. So
Well, the jurors were just fed a plate of bullshit, and we know it. Because if I would have been on that juror, honest to God, from what I heard that a so-called expert said, wouldn't have sat well with me. Her description of what she did and all the things she had to do to get it. That to me, I'd have been like, "Excuse me, Judge, I have a question. Can we hear from the defense expert to maybe I can weigh this out here?" But no, we don't get that either. I don't want to hear from just one expert at a trial. I don't give a fuck if they come from the defense or the prosecution. I need both. It's up to me to decide which one I believe.
scientists say that the marks on that gun are match your gun.
And I'm telling you, it didn't happen. I didn't shoot anybody. I've never even pointed a gun at
I'm not
anybody.
saying you shot anybody. I'm saying a fully intact round.
see, is that somebody who's guilty of slicing the throat of 2 girls? He says, "I never shot anybody."
And
He's
then
thinking.
Holman
He's
says, I
thinking.
never said you shot anybody.
Right, but he's thinking he's being accused of shooting somebody,
Exactly.
shooting Abby and Libby. That's not the person that's guilty of slicing their throats.
I'm
It's
saying.
not.
He still has the, yeah. When he finally wised up to that they were looking at him, and all he keeps hearing about is this gun and this bullet, and he's like, I never shot no one, never pointed a gun. I never said you shot nobody. Well, then how them girls die you keep telling me about? Then they also did talk about, in the end they did tell him how the girls died. Because he's like, you stuck, who stuck them in? It's the way he said it, the way Holman talks about it was disgusting. So how dare you come out here and say social media has caused the family harm by talking about the case? Because I heard the nasty shit you were saying there, Holman, about this case and the descriptive way you talked about it. Did you apologize to Becky Patty yet?
Was
And I'm telling you, that's not possible.
it is.
It's not.
How's it not?
Because I wasn't there.
You were there. You said you were there.
How is it not? How is it
There's
is?
some
Like, how is it not? Oh my God, this is
This is the only case I can ever really say that I feel this way about. Murdaugh was Murdaugh. Murdaugh was backwoods, dirty ass Southern lawyer bullshit, right? You got caught. This is next level. This is different. This ain't even close to Koberger fucking level. Koberger's bullshit's FBI bullshit. This is different. That is why I covered those two cases so differently. Whenever, especially made me sick to my stomach, Koberger's rights, Koberger's rights, while Rick Allen's were trampled the fuck all over, whether he did it or not. Nobody cared if Koberger did it or not, long as his rights were protected. At the same exact time, this man's were being stomped on. And I couldn't get anybody that was in Idaho with me to come look at Delphi. I had to jump in all by myself, and that's where I met you. I already knew Sleuthy, from Idaho, and she and I even got a little closer with the Delphi stuff. So I gained new friends within this community. You know what I mean? But I didn't base one thing I felt about Delphi off what I was hearing off YouTube, but they were bringing receipts to back up what they were saying. That's the difference between Delphi and Idaho, you know? And there was a lot to look into, and it's just, even if you take the Odinist bullshit and you set it down for a second, and you pretend they investigated it and you pretend they cleared those guys, they still don't have a right to arrest Rick Allen at this point. This is a weak probable cause, not Brian Koberger's. This is the weakest probable cause I've ever seen in my life. One unspent round. And a wacky ass way of testing that bullet. Other than that, you got nothing but some circumstantial evidence that he himself put himself in. Koberger ain't even going to give you that opportunity. I was driving around in the area, blah, 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 shopping. No. I was, whoa, on the other side of the fucking, town. I was in another state. Rick's like, no, I was there. It's like, why are they, is it because, like some have suggested, the election time? The needing somebody to go down for this after 5 years of heat from the, from officials, from the public, the families, and is it time to get this wrapped up in a neat little bow? Was it just a coincidence? Did Kathy really accidentally find the tip with this man's name on it? And they're like, you know what? So what? Even though he said he was there, that still don't mean shit. Let's go get him anyway. Like I can't figure out why they decided to go after Rick Allen the way they did, based on what they had and the lies they were telling him and his wife. Because remember now, they got Kathy in the other room just filling her full of bullshit right now, and he has no idea. Every time we stop and restart.
I told you I was on the trail. I didn't tell you I was at a murder site.
This round is telling me you were there. You didn't.
I don't care
you
what
didn't
it's
lend,
telling
you
you,
didn't lend
honestly.
your gun to anybody. I asked you that. Did you?
I'm done answering questions. Just arrest me. I'm done.
I'm trying to help you, Rick.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you something that's not true so you can feel better about this.
I already feel good about this.
Okay.
I feel good about what the experts are telling me.
Okay.
I feel good about the scientific evidence. I feel good about the witness statements. I feel good about everything. What I don't feel good about is you being a fall guy for anybody or everybody or anybody involved in this, if that's possible. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you did do this all by yourself. That's exactly, I know you keep snickering at that.
So is Holman convinced there's somebody else involved still? Maybe you did do this all by yourself. Maybe you didn't. Why don't you tell us who the mastermind was? Why don't you tell? They know more than one person was involved in these murders.
Yeah.
They unequivocally know it. And I don't. If anybody wants to say no, that's not true, stop watching only one person on the YouTube.
But that's exactly what's going to be portrayed of you. You're this evil monster that was just hunting for two teenage girls so you could just go down there and terrorize them and kill them, and that's not true. Is it?
I told you.
You and I both know that that's not true. You and I both know what happened. The evidence clearly is indicating. Now there's some missing pieces, and I'm going to find those missing pieces. And it would be easier if you helped me.
What missing pieces, Joe, could he possibly need? I told you I was there. I told you what I was driving. I mean,
like a nexus? A
nexus.
A
There
nexus.
you go. There's that word. They have a different word in Idaho, but okay, we're going to go with nexus because we're in Indiana. I'm traveling all week, guys. I've been all over the place this week. Arizona, Indiana, fuck Canton, fuck Delphi. I'm like everywhere but home.
I can take you to Winslow, Arizona if you want.
Where, okay, what is there? Anything cool? Oh my
An
God.
eagle song.
Oh, wait. You're right. Because I love me. I just got, now it's not going to leave my head. That
Right.
song is going to be in my head for now. It will be for the rest of the night because I've got a lot of Eagles on my playlist.
Yeah. Trace on the Case is from Winslow, Arizona. So we talk about that from time to time.
Got
Standing on the
7
corner.
women on my mind.
Yep.
It's a girl, my lord, and a flatbed Ford. Okay. Um, One of these nights, my favorite Eagles song ever, hands down. Okay, let's get back to the little interrogation video here.
You find those missing pieces.
Oh my God. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I did something I didn't do.
I don't want you to. I told you that.
That's exactly what you want me to do. What else would you want me to do but tell you I did it? And I'm not going to because I didn't. I've never been around those two girls in my life.
You were on the trail that day,
I was on the trail that day and I told you
and
that.
they walked right by you, according to witnesses.
No, they didn't. I never even seen them. Like, I think I'm going to.
What witnesses said they saw Abby and Libby walk past Rick Allen? None.
See somebody if they walk past me. Am I not? I'm not saying somebody didn't see me that I didn't see. All I'm telling you is I never seen those two girls.
And why didn't you report this day one?
Report what?
That you were out there and you saw these two girls, you were in the area.
The very day that they came out and said that they wanted anybody who might have been out there to come in, that's what I did. I went down to the police station. I said, hey, I was out at the trail that day.
Did you want to?
Well, I obviously did, or I wouldn't have.
Did your wife encourage you to? Because she's talking
No.
to us. She's talking to us right now. And
I'm sure she is. And she's going to tell you there's no way in hell that I'd ever do this. So we're all good.
It's not what was going on, Rick.
Then I don't know what is.
I just wish you'd be honest. That's all I do.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
I have been honest with you, and you obviously don't believe me.
I don't, because if this evidence wasn't there, I would.
Okay.
You don't believe this evidence is?
I don't.
We're not here.
There's no way possible.
We didn't.
There is no way possible that a round from my gun ended up at a murder scene. It's not possible. So something's obviously wrong.
Something is wrong.
Exactly.
You and I both know what's wrong.
I didn't do it. And I'm not going to sit here all day trying to convince you that I didn't do it.
No.
You obviously think that I did.
I'm not going to sit here all day and convince you that I think that you did do it, Rick. I'm just laying down some of the evidence that we have.
Okay.
And we're going to get more.
I don't think
And we're
so.
only giving you the opportunity to get out in front of this. This is your opportunity. Like I said earlier, the truth is easy.
I've got nothing to get out in front of. I'm not going to tell you I did something I didn't do.
Okay.
Okay.
And I don't want you to tell me something that you didn't.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do, Jerry.
Stop
Yeah,
asking
you
me
do.
to.
I'm not. I'm just
Yeah, you
asking
do.
you to tell the truth about this day. I ask you to.
And you know, him not going day one doesn't bother me because day one, the 14th, there was a lot going on. There was, a lot going on at the police station, out there at the crime scene, all that stuff. And did he say to his wife, I was out there earlier this morning or today or whatever. It's like, oh, damn. Well, did you see the girls? No, I didn't see it. I don't recall seeing anything like that. You may not even think you have a damn thing to offer the police, right? So another day, 2 days goes by, and Kathy says, hey, they're asking for anybody who was out there to come forward in case y'all, He's like, okay, cool. I can totally see that being a thing and not a nefarious way. Do you know what I mean? Not everybody's wanting to jump up and get involved in stuff. We're naive if we think that every American's the stand-up American that we think we are. We're going to get out there and, be that freedom fighter for everything. No. There might be times something happens when you're near a place, you're like, ugh, I'm not. You know what I mean? It's like witnessing a car accident. Do you stick around and tell your story, or do you keep going because you're late for your job? Things like that. So I never found it suspicious that he didn't go to them day one, day two. He was there with it, and then a couple of days of the crime, he was there giving his statements. Um, like Sluthi said, we had always heard Kathy made him go. When he got off work that day, Kathy's like, "Hey, I heard they want you guys to come down if you were out there," and that's all that sounds like to me.
To go back
Oops, sorry.
and rehash it, and you wouldn't. Why?
I told you, because I'm not gonna, you guys are like trying to trick me into
I'm not trying to
doing
trick you.
something.
I'm not trying to trick you.
I told you what happened. You've already got it. There's no need
There's
for me
some
to
holes
tell
in
you
that
again.
story.
Whatever. There aren't any. I don't know how I can make this any clearer. I'm not going to tell you that I had something to do with this.
Okay.
Yes.
And I don't
Yes.
know how
Yes.
I can make this
That
any
is
clearer.
that is a genuine response. That is a 100% genuine response. Back it up like 20,
It,
30 seconds.
it feels like it, doesn't it?
That is 100% genuine response.
You guys are like trying to trick me into
I'm not trying to
doing
trick you.
something.
I'm not trying to trick you.
I told you what happened. You've already got it. There's no need
There's
for
some
me to
holes
tell
in
you
that
again.
story.
Whatever. There aren't any. I don't know how I can make this any clearer. I'm not going to tell you that I had something to do with this.
Look at Jerry, look
And
away.
I don't
Look
know
at
how
him,
I
look
can make
away.
this any clearer. We have evidence
Motherfucker.
indicating that
You
you're
motherfucking
that's-
manipulative
that's-
bastard.
Oh, y'all, Joe, I had to pause because Joe was cussing and going off. I was like, I'm here for it. Yeah, he looked away.
Fuck.
Makes you wonder why. Why couldn't he look Rick in the eye like a man and take it
Yeah.
like a man?
Right. Rick was looking him right in the eye. He's
Because I
like,
want you to notice Holman's demeanor and that good cop thing he's trying to portray. And I'm here to help you, Rick. And even when he's accusing Rick, he's still being calm with Rick. Wait till Kathy enters the room. That's going to piss you off.
That's sad that you won't help.
no, you're
If that
sad.
was
You're
if
sad,
that was your daughter
motherfucker.
out there, you
Oh.
want some people to help.
You're damn right I
You're
would.
right.
Rick is looking him right in the eye. He is looking him dead in the eye.
I need a coffee refill.
I need a righteous indignation refill.
Sleuthie's got you covered.
God damn.
All right, I'm going to run freshen my coffee up real quick.
All right.
No, Joe has not seen this yet, Sleuthie. Real time
Nope.
reaction.
It is. Nope. Lori has been my time and energy vampire for the last couple of weeks. So I'm behind the 8 ball on this. That interaction right there, that Rick looked him dead in the eyes. He looked him dead in the eyes, and Jerry Holman had to look away, tells me everything I need to know. Like 100%. Jerry Holman, you're a manipulative son of a bitch trying to use the Reid technique to extract a confession that doesn't happen until this particular prisoner has been in isolation for 4+ months and given involuntary Halidol injections. Yeah. Oh my God. Can you imagine being in his seat right now?
I know, right? It's like what I was talking about yesterday, how they leave you in there for so long as it's kind of psychological warfare bullshit. Yeah, me either, Sleuthie. It's gonna. It may not be a good thing. I just don't know how to handle it yet. I'm here for you, Joe, if you need some moral support. Coming up.
No, you are.
Yes, Dr. Vonda, I hear you. Uh, Yeah, Jerry Holman's loud outbursts, especially when Kathy, came along. It's just the guy's a creep. The guy's fucking disgusting. And this should be a lesson to everybody. Like Bob Motta says, lawyer up. There was that like I was saying yesterday, or used to, it'd be like, oh, they lawyered up, they're guilty. No, it means they're smart. Lawyer up. Don't let them hound you to death. And, he keeps saying I'm innocent, and they're not listening to him. It's just time to call it a day at some point and just lock me up until I get an attorney. Because it's crazy. Let's see if we can, let me, oh, wait, I want to push the wrong thing.
She
You back it up till he comes back in the room. Okay. Here we go.
still waiting because sounds like your wife's talking and she's being honest. So
It sounds like your wife's still here and she's being honest. So
she basically said,
Yeah. And he's about to say something about she basically said. Like they're trying to play. There's no telling what all they're really telling her in the next room. We caught a glimpse of that at the trial, little bits. But they're going back and forth. They're telling her all kind of shit. Then they're coming back in here and telling him things to make him believe Kathy has said things that she hadn't said.
"You can't believe you lied to her, so you're lying to us too." But
She
I can't
can't believe.
I can't believe you lied to her and you lied to us too.
Yeah, that's what they're telling him his wife has just said to them. I'd be like, you need to get my wife in here, motherfucker.
so, is there a reason why you have this round in your little keepsake box?
The
What
keepsake
kind of ammo
box.
did you have for your SIG?
I don't know.
Blazer?
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
At that time.
At that time, you had Winchester.
Okay.
The round we found was Winchester. The ammo you had in your gun and for your gun at the time was Blazer. But this was a Winchester. It says right there, Winchester. Same exact type of round.
We've been through this.
I know.
And
I'm just
probably
giving it out to you.
owned
Like
by
I said, your
about
wife's being honest.
30,000 people in
She's-
Indiana.
Oh, you
Probably
ain't
owned.
lying. In Florida, I mean, people don't get it when in these regions like this, like Indiana, like Northwest Florida, because Northwest Florida, Central and South Florida, we're all different. Those dudes down there ain't like the dudes up here. Trust me, we don't have palm trees. I got a beach, but they're not. I almost said an ugly word. But the dudes around here are tough dudes, right? They hunt, they fish, they got big old pickup trucks, they got dog boxes on the back because they dog hunt. They wear Carhartts. They wear they dress just like the dudes in Indiana. And anywhere else, there's a country, Arkansas. You give me any rural area in America, they're all going to dress the same. We can all compare pictures to see.
It says ever since 2017, she's saying that you didn't want to go. You wouldn't let her go on the search party. She wanted to help.
Oh.
And she's saying
Not all of us were raised up in them big slick cities where the dudes look like girls.
that.
I think I know my wife.
Well, I'm just telling you.
My
Want me to bring her in?
say some stupid shit.
You want me to bring her in and tell you?
I
She's
don't
telling
care
the truth
what you
about
did.
what.
Joe, I couldn't help it. Sorry. I don't mean no offense. I live in the good part of Florida, Sleuthy. I'm 20 minutes from the Gulf of my Gulf. I'm not going to call it anything but the Gulf. And I'm smack dab in the middle of one of Florida's largest state forests all at the same time. And I'm in heaven. I don't have no palm trees. They don't grow naturally down here. That shit's a myth. Rivers. Give us a river any day.
What happened? You didn't tell her, but you've lied to her for years, is how she feels right now. Because, and your depression has gotten considerably worse since this incident, which is.
This has been going on for 7-8 years now.
But it's gotten worse since.
Well, it's gotten really bad.
I could see why. If I killed two girls,
Oh my God.
Uh, yeah, yeah,
I would have
yeah.
depression too.
Well,
I would have mental issues too.
I'm sure you would.
Living with this.
I'm sure you would.
I'm sure you do, Jerry. I'm sure you actually do.
Does Jerry have a conscience or anything going on in there? No,
Mm.
I don't. After seeing that interviews that he did after the trial, dude's proud of his little body of work, and he's like, "Look what I got away with, America. Got Judge Gold's got my back."
And that's why you are. Here's what I think, Rick. I don't know. Only you know, but here's my theory. You're out there. Maybe somebody set this up. Maybe they didn't. Maybe you're out there. Maybe we know you're out there. That's not a theory. That's a fact.
Duh.
We know you had a gun. Girls.
Yeah,
saw
he
the gun
told
in there.
them. He told them.
She
He told
said,
them he was out there.
"Yep,"
That's
and then
not a theory. That's a fact.
he follows up with, "We know you had a gun because people saw you with it." Listen, oh, come the fuck on. Okay.
Since
Well, it's gotten really
2017.
bad.
I could see why. If I killed two girls,
Oh my God.
I would have depression too.
Well,
I would have mental issues too.
I'm sure you would.
Living with this.
I'm sure you would.
And that's why you are. Here's what I think, Rick. I don't know. Only you know, but here's my theory. You're out there. Maybe somebody set this up. Maybe they didn't. Maybe you're out there. Maybe we know you're out there. That's not a theory. That's a fact. We know you had a gun. Girls saw the gun in there.
See, the girls saw the gun, and like Sleuthie said, Rick Allen never told them he took a gun out there that day. They have never. It's never been proven he had a gun out there that day. They never thought that he had a gun out there that day until they found that bullet, and then 5 years later found Rick Allen. They knew somebody had a gun out there, and lo and behold, the man had a gun in his house, which man don't in Indiana. So, but just continue to say, why weren't these girls produced in court that saw this man and saw him with a gun? Where they at, Holman? See, the cops get to lie to y'all. Not only should you lawyer up right away, you need to lawyer up because they're about to tell you a handful of lies to try to get you to admit to something you may or may not have done. And if you really didn't do it, you really need to get a lawyer because they're going to lie through their teeth and tell you they got things against you. How are you supposed to feel knowing, say Rick Allen's completely 100% innocent and he knows this, but you're being told we have all this against you? How are you going to fight that, right? Without a good attorney, without a decent attorney, without one the state's going to have to give you because you don't got no money. Can you trust that dude? Can you trust a public defender to walk in there and do their due diligence? Or am I just a number in another case they need to flip through real quick? Luckily he got handed good attorneys, right?
Well, he thought he had enough money to hire an attorney, and he actually did.
Well, until
And
right, but people don't realize how much that really is in the big scheme of
exactly.
things.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And then the attorney's like, "No, I'm gonna need like $10,000 at least." And Rick and Kathy are
Just
like,
to
"Oh
look at
shit."
it. Yeah.
They're like, "Oh shit."
I don't see how anybody is supposed to get a good attorney these days to fight a murder charge or a high profile case. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got a state who's not willing to play ball and give you the money that they need to get their job done. Like Idaho gives the money. Idaho had 3 back-to-back high-profile trials. Cost that state tons of money. Lori, Chad, Koberger. It's not cheap. Indiana just had the deal with Delphi, but they didn't want to give the defense any money to do anything with. So, it's like, do we crowdfund and raise money for the defense? Which, you know what I mean? What are you supposed to do? It's sad that you got to pay an attorney that much money. I did no shade against the defense attorneys, but I don't think it should cost that much money. Period. I think that's a little much. Maybe I don't get the cost. That's a whole other show.
We know you have anger issues. Your wife told us before that you have some anger issues, and you have depression, and you have, those types of issues. And maybe these girls said something to you. I don't know. Maybe you said go down the hill, which we know. The experts say you said go down the hill. You get down there and
The experts,
they piss you off for
the
whatever reason. You rack
magical
the
experts and scientists. Oh my God.
He's trying to get him. He's trying to trick him right now. Hold on a minute. Let me. Hold on. Give your theory, Holman, about what he fucking did that day. I want to hear it.
The experts and scientists. What a load of
Mhm.
shit.
There were no experts and scientists in this case. It's a couple of cops playing experts. Oh, what the hell's going on? There ain't nobody here on the Wi-Fi.
in there. We know you have anger issues. Your wife told us before that you have some anger issues, and you have depression, and you have, those types of issues. And maybe these girls said something to you. I don't know. Maybe you said go down the hill, which we know. The experts say you said go down the hill. You get down there and they piss you off for whatever reason. You rack the gun. You didn't realize you racked that gun to scare them, and that round popped out. You didn't realize it. Because
How do you not realize you racked a gun? And then you didn't realize the bullet ejected. Rick Allen's like, what the fuck? The look on his face, like, what is this dude talking about? Yeah. Right, Lindsay? I agree.
That
Because maybe
that
you
doesn't
carry that gun.
hold on. That doesn't even address the fact that the
Hmm?
gun was racked on the south end of the Monon High Bridge, and the unspent round was found on the plain on the other side of the creek, like several hundred feet away. Like, did he
Well,
rack it and
li-
it just magically jumped all the way across the Deer Creek
no,
onto the other plain?
I'm assuming they thought he racked that gun twice. Once right there on the bridge, because none of us, I've not heard it rack one time in that bridge guy video. People tell me I hear a gun racking. I hear what could be the leaves crackling. Okay?
Well,
So
that's
I'm
what
not
they
even
had.
convinced. I know
That's
what
what they had him. That's what they had Holman do in court. He racked the gun in court for everybody to hear and see.
I know. The state's theory is Rick Allen racked the gun on the south end of the bridge to entice the girls to go down the hill. Once they were on the other side of the bridge, the gun was racked again and the bullet fell out onto the ground. But I'm not convinced there was ever a racking of the gun on the bridge. Because the only way to prove that is in that videotape where you hear sounds, you don't see it. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't need a man to tell me you hear a gun racking. I've been around guns my entire life. I know what the sound of a gun racking sounds like. I don't hear it on that tape. So the fact is, he's over here telling him, you don't remember racking the gun out there. You didn't realize your bullet fell out. He's looking at him like, well, I would have to know I racked the gun. It's like you physically have to rack the fucking gun. How would you not you know what I mean? And did they ever recover any bullets from down there underneath the south side of the bridge? Did they do a thorough investigation down there and find the bullet that he racked up there? No.
Gun with a
So non-existent bullet to me up on the south end.
round chambered, or do you not have it chambered?
When I carry it, I would have a round chamber,
So
but
you
I
rack
don't
it to
carry it
scare
very
it comes
often.
out. Well, you were carrying it that day because
Huh?
girls said. So if you have one chambered, and what I'm saying is,
Yes,
if I have a round chamber, which I do,
2
and I
inches.
rack this gun right now, a fully intact round will pop out. Correct?
I assume.
Well, that's what's happened, and you didn't realize it.
Okay.
And that's why that round's there on the ground.
Okay, so it happened and you didn't realize it. So they're saying he got over there to the south side, or to the spot where the girls were killed, racked his gun, and then a bullet ejected, and he didn't realize it. And then it got 2 inches under the earth just by falling out. Did it fall out with so much force and into the ground it went? What could have caused that bullet to go 2 inches under the ground? Especially if it was found on the 14th, the same day the girls were found, hours after they were killed. I think it would have been laying more on top of the ground. When I was growing up, we found spent rounds all over the place growing up.
And this is your opportunity. And you say that, you don't want to this and
Can you
that.
please stop giving me opportunities? I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I did something I didn't do.
Okay, tell me what
I'm
you
not
did.
gonna tell you I'm involved with something
Tell
that
me
I
what you
wasn't
did do
involved
then
with.
that day. Help me.
I didn't
Help me
murder
set
2
you
little
free.
girls.
What did you do?
You know, that bullet probably came off one of Ron Logan's old guns because he lived there forever and a fucking day, and it was his property, and he was probably out there shooting all kinds of, over however many years he lived there. No telling how many times that man was out there shooting at something. No telling how long that bullet had actually been out there.
I went for a walk on the trail and I went home. And I told you the details of the best I can remember of what I did that
Same,
day and
Lindsay.
what the walk was. I'm not gonna. This is ridiculous. I'm not gonna just keep repeating myself.
Okay.
So.
But I'm not gonna keep bringing up more evidence either. I mean, I can
Okay.
only give you so much. What about Ron Logan? Do you know Ron Logan?
Mm-mm.
You ever been on his property? You don't,
Not that I know of.
you don't hunt, you said you fish?
We mushroom hunt. Yeah, I fish.
I'm just trying to figure out why that round from your gun would be out there. I'm giving you the
Not.
I know you don't want me to give you opportunities, but I'm giving you the opportunity. But you never mushroom hunt on that side of that ditch? On 2000, or you weren't mushrooming, it was too early for mushrooms.
A little bit. It was just a seasonably warm day. So I went for a walk.
Okay. And nobody had your gun that you know of?
I'm not answering that. I've answered it 15 times.
I mean, obviously, you would tell me if somebody did, because then that would put them there and not you. Because right now, you are already out there by witnesses, and you and I both know that realistically, the evidence doesn't lie. So
It obviously does,
if
if
you
that's
did
what it's
know,
saying.
I think I know you well enough, maybe I don't, that if you did know somebody borrowed your gun or had your gun, you would tell us.
How does he think he knows that man well? Like, you just fucking met him over the last, 2 days, 3 days? Come in busting balls, searching his house. Now y'all friends. You his only friend, according to you. Remember, the prosecutor and the other cops want to lock you away, Rick, but I'm here to help you. Even though I believe all this evidence against you, I'm sure here to help you, buddy.
Of course I would.
Okay. So it's real.
Did you say something, Joe?
Keep going.
Realistic for me to believe that you're the only one to have your gun. Excuse me.
I've answered that 15 times.
Okay. And you said 15 times. That's
Exactly, Lindsay, when Holman was trying to bait Rick Allen into saying he had fired his gun and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, I live out in the country. I can just go shoot my gun whenever I feel like it right out the backyard. And I thought, well, good thing houses don't live close, lawman. Hate to see that bullet pierce a house and harm someone's baby. Even I know better than to shoot toward homes. But yeah, he's out in the country shooting up firearms. Why couldn't Ron Logan be doing the same thing, right? My dad lives smack dab in the middle of the woods, surrounded by forests. Guess what's happening up there all the time?
true. So like I said, I'm trying to help you. If you don't want me to help you, I won't. I'll leave
I
it now.
don't. That's fine.
What I'd like for you to do is tell me again what happened, because you didn't tell me. I watched the interview. I'm just trying to figure out why you're around from your gun was 6 inches from those girls.
And I'm telling you, that's not possible.
Do you believe in science? Do you believe in?
I believe in science. I don't understand all of it.
I don't either, but if a scientist, a certified analyst, is telling you that this round came from this gun, specifically this gun, not this type of gun.
I get all that. I know what you're saying. And what I'm telling you is that bullet did not come from my gun if it was found at that murder scene or on the bridge or where, like, it didn't come from my gun is what I'm trying to tell you.
And I'm trying to
So
if it did, and they're telling me it did. So now I'm trying to figure out who had your gun, and you're saying nobody did 15, 16 times, and who had a round from your gun. Did anybody have your ammo? I don't know. You explain to me. You try to explain to me why.
I'm not going to try to explain. I told you
You
that.
can't. You can't explain.
What else is he supposed to explain? Let me make this up. Let me make up the, oh yeah, wait, you know what? That one dude I met that one day, can't remember his name. That's the dude I loaned my gun to. He had some raccoons in the backyard like Chad Daybell. What the fuck? Holman. Rick, you should have said, didn't I loan it to you, Holman? To take out to the country and shoot up? Nah, he probably would have got in a lot of trouble for saying shit like that. But yeah. Good God. I mean, does he think that's the way he's going to coax him into confessing? Right? By breaking him down and breaking him down and breaking him down. By saying, I don't believe you, I don't believe you, I don't believe you. I mean, and that didn't work to get a confession, as we see.
Why your round is by this dead girl's foot?
Because it's not.
But it is. You
But
believe
it's
in
not.
science. You believe in that analysis. You believe that our lab.
I think it's also important that we do recognize that 9 times out of 10, a lot of criminals are going to sit there and deny, right? And if I didn't know so much about the backstory behind these videos, maybe I'd look at these and think a different way about this guy. But I'm not thinking that right now. You know, I'm looking at this thinking, nothing about this makes me feel like he's lying to them. You know how you can watch some of those videos, you can like, oh, that dude's lying. You know, Joe, you've seen those kind of videos. We've all seen them if we've watched different interrogation stuff, and you feel like you might get a vibe and you might not, but you don't ever know in the beginning of a case, right? And a lot of times this stuff is released in the beginning, not at the damn well end once you know everything, or most everything. So it's different to do this in reverse. It's a little different.
That round's been in storage since the 14th of 2017.
I am telling you that any round involved in this whole thing did not come from my gun.
And I'm telling you, you're lying.
Okay.
Because I have evidence that it is.
You don't.
That's not evidence?
I'm telling you, never mind.
Please,
Nope.
tell me. I'm all ears.
No, you're not. No, you're not, motherfucker. No, you're not all ears.
He's got them clogged up or something, Joe, because he keeps screaming, oh, I'm all ears. Tell me, how many times can you tell them? And this is the thing, they're never going to shut up until you lawyer up.
Right.
You know, they're just not. They're not going to let up. 9 times out of 10, they will not let up until you finally say, enough's enough. Put me in the cuffs, throw me in the cell, and get my lawyer down here. It's just insane. I'm going to take a bathroom break, but I'm going to let this play while I run to the bathroom. I'll be right back, but I got my phone, so I'll be in chat if y'all need me. I won't have the volume. I mean, I could be listening to monitor the stream rather, not chat.
I'm all ears. I'm all ears.
I've got nothing to say.
Tell me.
I've got nothing to say. This is ridiculous.
So you're saying you didn't have the gun on the trail, so there's no way you racked it out there on the trail and somebody might have picked this round up?
What I'm telling you is I don't carry my gun. I carry my gun if we go fishing along the river, like night fishing. I carry my gun if we're going to go out and tromp through the woods mushroom hunting somewhere. That's about the only times I even carry my gun.
And you weren't mushroom hunting and you weren't fishing that day.
It was like February or something.
February 13th,
Okay.
2017.
You realize mushrooms don't grow that early,
Yeah,
right?
it's about May, right? April,
Probably
May.
around there.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
why would I be mushroom hunting?
I'm just saying, you weren't mushroom hunting and you weren't fishing. You're just walking on the trail. There's no way you would. I'm trying to figure out how that round got out there. If you're adamant that it is your round, I mean, you can't deny that. It's a round from your gun. Did you rack it on the trail and, you know?
I didn't. I didn't have my gun that day.
Never racked it on the trail.
I didn't have my gun that
Have
day.
my
Yeah,
gun that
you did.
day.
You ever remember racking your gun on that trail?
No, I don't.
You ever remember racking your gun while you're mushroom hunting out there in the years prior? Do you ever remember racking your gun when you were fishing? Did you ever go fishing there?
Not usually, no.
Okay. Where do you usually go fishing?
Down at the dam.
Oakdale?
No, in town, the little creek.
Oh,
Deer
okay.
Creek.
Yeah, Deer Creek. And you said earlier you don't shoot it a lot, so you weren't out there target practicing.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just trying to figure out how I got there.
We're all still
You-
trying to
You
figure
said
that
you
out,
carry it
Jerry.
when you're mushroom hunting and fishing, and obviously I know when mushrooms grow, and I know probably. I mean, you could go be fishing in February. Why do you carry a? Why would you carry your gun? I'm not a fisherman or a hunter. But why would you carry your gun if you're out mushroom hunting?
Just because you're going to be out in the boondocks, you just never know who you're going to run into. Personal protection.
He's trying to get him to remember or recall a time he was out there with his gun and fired it, trying to explain how that bullet may have gotten over there, other than the fact that you did it the day in the crime of the the crime of the commission of the crime. Said that backwards. Um, Micah, monitor the stream. Awkward. Well, I take my phone that way I can see, make sure the stream doesn't go down, or y'all are still able to see the screen well while I'm walking around the house if I have to go do something. But I am back right this. I'm gonna go grab some fresh coffee. Yeah, he said he didn't take the gun down there. He said that over and over, you know. But they still were not. They never produced the people who claimed to have seen him with the gun, and that's huge to me.
Okay. Or snakes or something like that, I guess.
I probably wouldn't shoot a snake.
A gun for snakes?
I would.
Good luck shooting a snake with a gun. I mean,
And Rick said I probably wouldn't shoot a snake.
yeah.
Now, let me tell you something. We got Eastern Diamondback rattles up here, okay? They get huge, and they will kill you dead real quick like. Steve Irwin came down here before he passed away, God rest his soul, and did a whole story on our Eastern back diamonds, rattlesnakes, and damn near got bit. My daddy will take care of one in a heartbeat if he needs to, with whatever's necessary. But Rick's like, I wouldn't even shoot a snake. This girl would, but most people wouldn't. A lot of people don't. But it's just the way that Holman was he's trying to bait him into saying that he was out there and fired this gun. Holman don't care when he actually fired it, as long as he can place him out there fire or do him with that gun, so he can prove that's your bullet. I just need to tie you out there with that bullet, and right now he still can't do that. And he's like, oh, were you mushroom hunting? Were you out there protecting yourself? Was there snakes present? You know, when could you have fired that gun for that bullet to end up out there? And Rick's like, I don't know.
I hate snakes. All right.
I'm not saying I like them.
I guess I'm quicker than a snake. I can get away maybe. When you do carry it, do you carry like a Just on your hip, or do you carry it like one of those fancy holsters, or do you just put it in your pocket, or
It's got a holster, side holster.
like a paddle holster like this, just clips? Or does it go through the belt?
It goes through the belt.
Mine
Well,
just slides on.
it goes through the belt or clips. I don't know. I'd have to look. Right off, I don't remember.
And you said when you do carry, you have one in the chamber. That's how I carry mine.
Generally, yeah.
Remember, Joe, it looks like the bridge guy's wearing what appears to be a fanny pack,
Possibly, right?
right? And people had speculated that there was a gun in that pouch. I mean, I've seen YouTubers talk about it, and they're like, you can see the outline and the shape, and I could never see what they were seeing. I couldn't even tell if that really was a fanny pack. You know what I mean? If that is genuinely what that was around his waist, or it was just part of the bulky sweatshirt situation, jacket thing. Holman's trying to get him to describe where he would normally carry his gun. So where did these witnesses that saw him with a gun see? Did they see a man with a fanny pack with a gun? Was it holstered to the side? How do they know they saw a gun? I wish I was your defense attorney right now, Rick Allen, 'cause I got lots of fucking questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see what the prosecutor has to say. I'm gonna call him.
I sit here and give Ann Taylor a hard time, but you know what? I'd probably do just as much as she's doing.
Real quick. Tell him what's going on, okay?
Okay.
What do you want me to tell him?
I want you to tell him whatever you want to tell him. I mean,
The truth? I'll tell him the truth, because that's what I do.
that's your version of the truth. Because it's obviously not.
I'm not making it up.
It's obviously not the truth.
You think I'm making up that we found this round and
I don't know what you're doing. What I'm telling you is.
I'm not making this up. You and I both know. I'm not lying to you about anything. Everything I'm telling you is facts.
Okay,
I'm not trying to trick
okay.
you into anything, Rick.
Oh
I know
my
you
God.
probably watched, you said you watched Dateline, all these fancy shows. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm just giving you some of the evidence that we have against you.
And I'm telling you that that's not possible.
Well, I can't, I'm not making this up. I showed you, I can't make this up. This is a legal document.
It's a legal document.
Item 16
Any other evidence that
was identified as being cycled in the firearm of item
It's a legal
314. Item
document.
314 is your gun. Item 16 is the round that we found out there on the ditch bank next to Liberty's foot.
and
That round compared to your gun.
and I'm telling you that didn't happen. That
I'm
it's
telling
not
you it did.
possible.
I don't. So you think I've just typed this up?
Yep, I
You think
do.
I'm
You're
just-
saying it happened. I'm not denying you're saying that. What I'm telling you is there's no way my bullet was found near a murder scene. It didn't happen.
And I showed you a picture
And I can tell you,
of a round, a Winchester 40 caliber round, right?
I've got nothing to work. Any
I've
other
seen-
evidence that you have is obviously not going to point at me. I mean,
It is.
okay,
The expert witnesses, the witnesses, all of it.
I don't believe
All
that.
these scientists, all these expert scientists
But
we
go ahead
have.
and call the problem.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Dude, I know.
Oh my God.
I don't recall any of those being produced. I mean, it was like a shit show of a trial. We knew that already. But to hear him go on and on about these experts and the scientific this and scientific that, and then you go back to the meshing of the hands and how these two sketches will come together to create one person. It's like, that's your scientific bullshit? And then you got this weird bullet analysis deal going down. That's literally all you got. Like that, other than that bullet, no bullet, no Rick Allen in jail. Because there was no DNA. Even though they got DNA, it's not Rick Allen's. We don't know who the fuck's DNA it is. Got one picture that we know of from a grainy snapshot off a video you left sitting somewhere for 5 years. I'm supposed to trust that. Okay. And you got me saying I was there that day. So what? He was on the bridge. accidentally showed up in a girl's video that I don't even trust. What else you got besides that? You got a bullet, but the DNA, there's no DNA on that bullet, no DNA of his on the victims. It's like, so without the bullet, would you have gotten your man, Jerry? Would Kathy be doing a great job for y'all today? You know, solving your community's 5-year murder mystery?
I'm just stumped here on what you think I made this up.
What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
I want you to tell
you
you
made it
how,
up.
how do you think
Yes,
I
I
made
do
this
actually
up? Do you think
think
I
you.
just typed this up? This is an official document.
I'm not.
I'd have been like, remember his fake Google searches that DB did that Jacob ran wild with?
Right.
Is Jerry Holman a real cop? That's what. Oh fuck. Oh my god. I need to make a video and put that in there and use the shit. That makes me laugh so hard. Is Jerry Holman a real cop? And her dumbass ran and went live with it like it was all real. Unvetted and all, Miss FBI agent. Shit.
I never said
I
you
can't
made it
do
up.
that. I can't lie
never
to
said
you.
you made it up.
I can't lie to you and say, hey, I have an official document right
Yes,
here
you can lie to
saying
him.
this
Yes, you
exam
can.
was done on this round.
Obviously he is, right? He's like the world's biggest liar. But there was like awards for cops who told the biggest lies in interrogations and got their man. It would be Jerry Holman. The Jerry Holman Award.
That we found at the scene. I can't make any of that up.
Well,
That's what you're telling me.
Well, no.
Lindsay.
I've not once said that you're lying. I've not once said that you're making that up.
You're just saying
What
that
I'm telling you is that there's no way that a bullet from my gun ended up anywhere near a murder scene. It just didn't happen.
and I'm telling you,
That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you any more than that.
and all I can tell you is we found this round back in 2017,
Okay.
collected it, have compared other guns to it. Other guns have not matched. We've had it for over 5.5 years. Right, we get information, you're on the trail, we want to talk to you and say, hey, what's going on? Who'd you see? What'd you do? You kind of cooperate, but then we say, hey, we're looking for this and that. Would you let us?
Now talk about that body language I don't like to look at, Joe. If you watch Rick Allen's, I'm getting the impression this dude is surprised with some of the shit Holman's saying to him. Not like he expects it and I gotta play it off kind of deal like a lot of criminals will do. Like, you know, they come on, man, you know, they'll bullshit their way out of it. He's not trying to bullshit his way out of it. He seems genuinely confused as to what the fuck you're telling me. Do you know what I mean? That's my impression.
Look, nope, get a search warrant. We got a search warrant.
Sure.
And we found this gun in
Okay.
your house that you bought in 2001, that the extraction marks, which is
Because his actual body language is relaxed and comfortable and whatever-ish, but his facial expressions are like, what? You know, because I'm big, I got a lot of facial expressions, and you're going to know what I'm thinking. And Rick's like, what the fuck are you trying to say here, dude? What are you explaining? You're part of you's talking in circles, and I'm not getting the impression that I just saw a shadow outside my window. I was like, what is that?
is the
Jerry
analogy
Holman.
I got from the lab is it's compared.
Don't, I'm not home. I do not. No, I will not open my door. There's no car parked out there in my yard. You can knock all damn day. And guess who's going to sit here and ignore that door? This girl. Even if the dog barks, there ain't nobody home. Get the fuck out of here.
Compared to a fingerprint, it's unlike anybody else's.
Okay.
Because these extraction marks, if they got my SIG 40, if I had a SIG 40, I have a 45 and a 9, but if I had a 40, it wouldn't match to my gun. And we've had multiple 40 caliber guns down there testing on other people that
Multiple 40 caliber guns down there testing on other people for 5 years. Huh. Funny how Brad Weber's never matched it, and that he was your savior in the end there, Holman. Or did it match? And in order to keep that out, you come say this for me. I could go a million different ways.
cooperated with us.
Okay.
And it doesn't match their gun. So that's why I'm telling you why we're here. The one reason why we're here today is because your gun matches to this round that was found out there. I can't make that up. I'm not lying to you, Rick. I can't. That's unethical. I can't go tell
It's obviously what you think. What I'm telling you is
It's not what I think. It's what the evidence is.
That's unethical. All right, Jerry. The laugh of the day. That just provided me the laugh of the day. I can't do
Good.
that. That's unethical.
You sound like you needed a good laugh. I'm glad. At least don't let it get, this shit was heavy and a lot for those of us deep in Delphi. And when you first watch it, it's like, "Ugh," you know, there's a couple of times you can laugh, but it's the thing is, Rick Allen already, he was upfront about experiencing his depression over the years and the anxiety. So if you already, because I have anxiety and PTSD. So if you're in a situation like that, it's a little bit triggering probably. And he's probably already feeling a little bit anxious inside, and he's like, I know I'm not going to get to go home. So I think he's doing a really good job at refraining from becoming overwhelmed with the situation and just letting Holman have it. He seems like a very non-confrontational type of guy. A lot of men would have already just buckled up in that seat and lived, look here, motherfucker. What are you accusing me of? You know what I'm saying? Rick Allen doesn't strike me as that type of guy. He doesn't strike me as a guy who's just ready for a confrontation. He's probably going to do the kind of things to try to ease a confrontation and that sort of thing. Yes, Sleuthy. So with that said, I'm taking my coffee and I'm walking out back for a cigarette break. I got a nasty habit. I'm going to let this play. I'll be in chat. Joe, if you need to let it outburst out, let it out, dude. Just let it out. It'll make you feel better. All right, here we go. I'm going to... Exactly. And I have anxiety, panic disorder, and ADHD, so I completely understand. Exactly. It would be overwhelming, but like I said, he really was able to maintain, and I think the reason is because Kathy is there, and he needs to be strong for her, especially like Sleuthy said, it's about to go off the rails in a minute. So I'm going to let this start. I'll be back to the PC in just a minute so I can stop and let Joe have a word. I'll be right back. I'm going to let it.
Oh,
Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. 1 second. Sorry, my son was getting ready to leave for the evening, and I was just making sure the dog was good and all that good stuff. All right, I'm not gonna. Okay, so I'm gonna let this start back up now, and y'all just. I'll be right back.
Telling me. If I just thought, oh, I'm gonna make this story up of it. Oh, somebody was out there and jacked around out of their gun. I can't make that up without the evidence that indicates it.
oh yeah, you
Did
can.
they say anything to you about this round?
Go ahead. I'm still sitting here. I haven't got up from the
No,
computer.
you said you can't make that up. I can't make that up. Yeah, you can. You can lie.
Yeah, you've been making a lot of shit up, and you're making everything up because the man told you he was there, told you what he was driving, and everything else you have made up. So you live in a make-believe fantasy world, Mr. Holman. You need some medication yourself. Living out there with all them guns, you need to go to the doctor. God dang it. Why every time?
About your gun the day they talked to you a couple weeks ago?
No?
No, because we didn't know.
Okay.
And then we collected all the evidence that we thought would match to the evidence that we have and run the test on it. And the test says, ding.
And what I'm telling you is, and I guess I
You can't deny this.
What I'm
I
telling
know
you
what you're
is,
telling me. You're telling me that your gun and that round was nowhere near. And I'm telling you that the evidence indicates it is. Right? We're on the same sheet?
that's what you're telling me, yes.
And that's what you're telling me.
No.
What are you telling me?
I'm telling you that
There's no way in hell that my gun and rounds out there. Go ahead, say it. Sorry, I won't interrupt you.
I'm not saying anything.
Because you know it's a lie. I can't make this up. That's what I'm saying. You and I both know. I can't make this up. I can't. This is a certified
You
official.
can, and you are.
Oh my goodness. You didn't make it up, Jerry, but whoever wrote that report may have made that up at this suggestion of you or something, or your boss maybe? Hmm. But you making a whole lot of shit up, Holman. Like I can't. Oh, Joe, I'll say it all for you. It's so crazy though when you if because I keep going back to hearing his testimony in my head. Well, we didn't get to hear his testimony. We got to hear some great reports from his testimony or about his testimony, right? All of us. And so when I go back to the things I was told he said on the stand about these interrogation videos compared to what I'm seeing, is two different things. I don't get it. Yeah, douche, Sleuthy. He's worse than that, isn't he? Okay, we'll get right back to it.
Document. I can't just type this shit up and say, "Oh, look at me. I'm lying to you, Rick." I'm
Okay.
trying to.
Oh, why not? Nick McClellan does. Just type shit up. Let's just type up a fancy little document and get Judge Gold to sign it. No one's looking.
Trick you into confessing to something you didn't do. That's bullshit.
Trick you into confessing you did something you didn't do. Like throwing him into a prison where Odin's guards can have at him? That kind of trickery?
You and I both know I can't do that.
Okay.
So tell me.
You tell me. Tell me.
I think you're involved in this double homicide. That's what I'm telling you because of the facts that we have.
I get that you think that. And I'm telling you I wasn't.
Okay. And if that's all it was, your word against my word, I would be like, okay, Rick, we'll see you later. I got all this evidence that we can present to a jury of your peers that's going to say, "Wow, Rick did this." He won't talk to us though, so we don't know what he is. He's just some crazy monster that chases around teenage girls and wants to torture them and do whatever. That's what they're going to say. And now your wife and your daughter and your friends and your family have to live with that.
Exactly. They already have to. You've already done the damage.
I didn't do the damage.
You certainly did.
My
You
round
and
isn't-
everybody else.
A round from my gun isn't down there.
I can't explain to you something that I don't understand.
Okay. I wish you.
I'd be like, but maybe if I can get one of them fancy attorneys, they can find me somebody who can understand this shit. Lawman.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Maybe if I get me a pair of those Tony Liggett headphones, maybe I can hear who actually said down the hill.
Magic headphones and magic hands, right?
Yeah.
Case solved. Ugh. It's a good thing you retired Doug Carter and your creepy ass voice. Fucking
You could.
high priest
I
motherfucker.
wish somebody could.
I
Oh, I
certainly
forgot I
wish
was
I
live.
could.
Well, sit tight. I'm going to find out what your wife's been telling the other detective. And we'll go. Okay? I can bring her in here too. Let her tell you. Maybe she can convince you to tell the truth. You need a smoke break? You want to smoke? You want to step out back and smoke before you talk to your wife?
If you'll let me, I will.
Do you
But
have a cigarette
they're in
on?
my jacket.
Where's your jacket?
I'm assuming she has it.
Okay. Hang on.
And for a smoker, he's even more calm than I would have been. Been like, I need my cigarettes an hour ago, and I'm smoking right the fuck here. Yeah, it's hard, right? I've never seen a case where I felt like the defendant was really done so wrong, right? I've had cases where I'm on the fence about certain things, like the Menendez brothers, they're getting a new hearing, things like that, different cases. But this one is just so freaking different. And I've been watching these cases for nearly 40 years. I've never seen one like Delphi. I don't even compare Karen Reid because that's a whole other different type of situation, in my opinion. There's a bunch of drunk cops going at each other. A bunch of he said, she said stuff that I don't understand, but I'm trying. But this is different. And I really wanted to believe the day I heard they arrested someone, they had the right guy, but I was so confused as to why it took 5 years because I was convinced whoever did it at that point was long gone, right? Because certainly if that bridge guy image I saw was like the local guy, you would think he would have been recognized by that point by somebody. The voice would have been recognized by somebody. I kept hearing small town, and blah, blah, blah. But it took 5 years. I was like, okay, well, shit, they must have something. And then, lo and behold, we started hearing different and seeing different. And it just blew me away because I will never forget the day I remember hearing those girls were missing. I had little kids. I got the news on in the background, cleaning my house like the average American mother. Well, this average American mother true crimed all day, so it was usually on in the background when the kids weren't watching TV. And I turned around as I always do, and I tell you guys, if I hear a missing kid on TV, I turn around to look at the picture. Because what if I see that kid in my hometown? Gannon Stock was murdered in Colorado and dumped off a bridge in my hometown. I pass his little memorial all the time. You never know when you're going to see a missing child in your neck of the woods. It pays to turn around and look at it. If it was your child, you'd want everybody to stop and turn around and look at the TV, right? So I'll never forget that day, just like Elizabeth Smart, Sebastian Rogers, Maddie. I mean, all of them, and I don't know, to see where this case ended up and how it progressed. I have never seen it in my life. They're gonna go on a smoke
Is there a
break,
restroom I can use, Pastor?
and Rick's finally got to go to the bathroom after all that damn water they fed him. I'd have been leery of the water. Like, is there true serum in it? If there was, it wasn't working, was it? Okay, so they brought him back from his smoke break, and they left him in there again for like a long
We do.
time. And
I don't
jackass
know
is
what
back.
they did.
Oh, hell no, Joe. Not even on a good day, right? Is it bad?
She's calming down a little bit.
Okay.
She's calming down a little bit.
We basically told her about the same evidence that we have that we told you about. And
So they basically told her about the same evidence that we've told you about, and she's calming down. Well, I'm glad you're able to calm his wife down there, Holman. He's real fucking condescending.
she's wants to talk to you. She's a little
She's
upset.
probably terrified.
She is. So she's drinking her water and calming down a little bit.
I'm pretty sure he knows his wife there, Holman. Pretty good chance you don't know yours real well, though. I'm just saying. I get that vibe.
Like I told her,
I don't think you care too much.
she's you mentioned it earlier. You're worried about what people are going to think and all this. I get that. But I don't think you're a bad person. Neither does she.
Oh my
What
God.
kind of good person kills two people?
People make bad decisions.
There you go. Let's back that up, because they made a big ass deal about that in court. If I can get my shit to work right.
Me again. She wants to talk to you.
Okay.
She's calming down a little bit.
Okay.
We basically told her about the same evidence that we have that we told you about. And she's wants to talk to you. She's a little upset.
Probably terrified.
She is. So she's drinking her water and calming down a little bit. Like I told her, you mentioned it earlier. You're worried about what people are going to think and all this. I get that. But I don't think you're a bad person. Neither does she.
My God, classic
What kind
Reid
of good
technique.
person kills two people?
Classic Reid
Yeah.
technique. I don't think you're a bad person.
Yeah, and he has said it so many times. And in the beginning, I'm your friend. I got your back, Rick. The prosecutor and the cops out there, they want to put you away, Rick. But I want to help you. And yeah, and now yeah, exactly. And then he described his little Reid technique. So I think he added the Holman technique in with his little. He's like, I'm gonna make my own. I'm making my own. I'm a seasoned veteran cop. I have developed my own style over the
Yeah,
years.
he's like, I can play good cop, I can play bad cop, I can do the Reid
I can
technique,
do
I
it.
can do the Holman
Mhm.
technique. Like, I got this.
I can combine the shit out of him and be like Doug and his magic hands and meld shit together. They're full of magic in Indiana. Y'all need some Lori Daybell up in y'all's shit because I think that bitch could match y'all's fucking energy and pull y'all all the fuck the way out of there. We need casting to
Oh,
qualify. Hold up. Hold the fuck up. Can we get Lori to do one last casting?
imagine if we could do like fantasy true crime where we have Jerry Holman goes against Lori Vallow Daybell.
Oh,
Imagine
fuck. We
that.
got to figure out a way to do it. Sleuthy, who do we know great in animation and shit like that? Where's DB? We got to get this together. Oh my God. All right. Yeah, I want to see Lori sitting right the fuck there, matching that energy he's giving off. She couldn't match Kay Woodcock's at all.
Mm-mm.
People make bad decisions
Mm-mm.
all the time. I don't know what happened.
I'm
For all I
scared.
know, maybe they did something.
What makes two of us?
Well, you have some explaining to do, though. I don't think you can explain why, and other than you think I'm making it up. But good people make bad decisions all the time. Good people get backed into a corner all the time, and I don't know what they did. Maybe I have a hard time believing they did something to. I don't think anybody could do something to deserve to be killed over, but if somebody gets angry and their medication isn't right or whatever, I'm on medication. If my medication isn't right, maybe I don't make the best decision.
Oh,
What
I want
minute?
to know. Yeah, exactly. I want to know what
Right?
medication
Is
are
it?
you on, Jerry
Are
Holman?
we talking high blood pressure and cholesterol, old man? Or are we talking you got some anxiety or depression issues, a little bipolar maybe going down, uh, cop anxiety, PTSD? What we got here? What we got, Holman? Because if you got some sort of mental condition where you need some assistance with some medications, then you too. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, we need to see his medications list. I need it. I'm going to subpoena it. Y'all think we can do that? Let's, Sleuthy, get me some documents together, girlfriend. We got a subpoena to serve. We want a warrant from the pharmacy Jerry Holman goes to.
People that are drinking and doing drugs. Not saying you do, but when people drink and do drugs or the medication's off, maybe they make bad decisions. Good people do it all the time, but good people get out in front of it and tell the truth and try to help, put an end to it. It's over. And she believes that she doesn't think we're making any of this up. She thinks you're a good person. I think you're a good person. I just think something went wrong. I don't know why or what happened, but only one person can tell me, and that's you.
I can't tell you something that I don't know. And I don't know how to make that any clearer.
You don't want to remember?
Oh my God, I didn't do anything. I didn't murder two little girls. I didn't help somebody murder two little girls. I wasn't involved in what'd you say, scheming or whatever. Wasn't involved with these two girls in any way, shape, or
Well, wait, Lindsay, isn't Sleuthy Joe, isn't Holman from the state police? I don't even think he's from Delphi, actually. Because in the beginning, he was asking Rick about the Delphi area, and he said, "Is there even a gun range in Delphi?" And that made me. Then it dawned on me. Wait a minute, Holman is state police, right? He doesn't live in Delphi, so I don't know. But that's a good question. If he did, Lindsay, would he be the pharmacy that knew what? Mm-hmm. Look at there, Lindsay's onto something. Like Rick's like, I know what all y'all fucking take, motherfuckers. Try me, bitches.
form. Never even seen them before.
So he's communicating with his buddies out there talking to Kathy. He ain't fooling me none. Did she say this yet? Did you say that yet? Did you ask him this yet? Did he say this yet?
Well, I'll
Time
let
to
her
bring her
talk
in
to
yet?
you
What do
a
you
little
want to
bit.
do?
Okay.
Hold off another minute?
Try to sort this out. Let me know whatever I can do to help. If you need more water or anything.
Okay.
Need another smoke break.
Yes, I would before I stab you in the eyeball, sir.
I just feel like you're I don't know.
You feel like he's what, Mr. Psychologist? I just feel like you're, oh, I don't know. You've been to play trick psychology on this man.
I don't know what to think.
You.
Hmm.
I said, you don't know what to think.
It's tough.
It's not tough, it's bullshit.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Do you have a valid explanation of all this?
Do you have a valid explanation for all this? No. He's told you. He can't explain it. So there you go. Jeez. You right?
But you don't.
That's what I can't explain something I don't know.
Alright. Well, we'll figure it out.
Will we? Will we figure it out?
Hey, baby.
All right, now you have to remember she's been in the next room and they've been telling her unequivocally that they have experts that can prove that bullet came from her husband's gun. They have an expert that proves that's her husband's voice saying down the hill, an expert to prove that is her husband on the bridge. That's what she's been told all this time in the next room. So allegedly, we have experts that can verify all of this. So what do you think if you've been married to this man most of your life? You got a daughter who's grown and married now. You're about to move into that next phase of life where you're going to prepare to become grandparents and all the things, blah, blah, blah. And now she's walking into the door to look her husband in the eye, who's being accused of what he's being accused of. And just getting raked over by the fucking Delphi Police Department and I almost said Idaho, Indiana State Police. Welcome in, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never told her that day.
It's all right, babe.
Yep.
It's gonna be all right.
And one thing to me, because I lived with a man for way too many years, more than I should have, that was the opposite of Rick Allen. Okay. And the way Kathy got upset and the way they talk about him being on the bridge that day and the way Rick Allen handled it with his wife, to me, said a lot. He did not appear to become frustrated with her. He didn't get nasty to her, derogatory, mean, hateful. I didn't see any of that. And I would have been the first one to notice those stuff. Those stuff. I can't speak properly today. I would have noticed these things. And I was really, I just know that when that whole little context starts taking place there, I really noticed that, how he was handling his wife. And I saw people on Twitter with a very different take. Before I watched this, actually, people were saying, he's gaslighting his wife. He's this, and he's doing this to her. And then I watched it, and I was like, man, it's so crazy how now you think about jurors. Two people can watch the same exact thing and have two very different takeaways from it. Right? I don't know. So this whole exchange can be a little much, but it is what it is.
They're trying to tell me that you actually believe that I did it. And I just can't believe that.
Trying to figure out why there's a bullet out there.
I know. Do you think I'm not? And that's what I told them. I can't explain something I don't understand. I tried to explain to them that there's no way that a bullet from my gun was at a murder scene, because it didn't happen. I didn't even have my gun that day I went out. You know me. You know this isn't something I could do. And I know that you know that. You don't have to tell me that, I know. They really think I did this. And they want me to believe that I know you know I didn't do this. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're trying to do here, but I'm not going to say something that's not true, and I can't explain something that I don't understand. The only way for me to explain it is that I don't know, because I'm saying it's not possible. There's no way that a bullet from my gun ended up at a murder scene. I didn't murder anybody. I didn't help somebody murder anybody. You know, I'm going to sit here and try to convince you. I know you know me. I know you know that I didn't do this, had anything to do with it. Talk about scheming or something.
Yeah, I don't know how did a bullet from your gun get out there?
I don't know, hon.
Because they said it came from our gun.
I know that's what they believe me, that's what they're telling me.
But how did it get there?
I don't know.
And they said there was one in your box above your dresser that matched it.
They showed me that picture too.
She said they said there was one in that box on your drawer that matched, you know, the Hope chest box, the box where the bullet was found in the bedroom. There, that's what she was just talking about. You can barely hear her, you know what I mean?
I can't explain it. And I don't.
I can't either. They keep asking me and I don't know how to answer that.
You
There's no
answer
way
it.
for me to know.
I understand. Me either. And that's what I'm trying to tell them. You want to keep asking me, and I just keep telling you I can't explain it. I don't know how to explain something that isn't possible. But I know, this is what I do know. I know that no bullet from my gun was connected with a murder in any way, shape, or form. And there's no way a bullet from my gun would have been near Abby and Libby's murder or anything else, because I never even seen those girls. Period. And I didn't even have my gun that day. So
I don't see how people can think that an actual conversation between a husband and a wife is a gaslighting situation. Not everything's a gaslighting situation or a gaslighting comment. People take that shit and run with it sometimes, you know. But I would be having a conversation with my husband too. We don't know how their normal conversations appear when they're at home talking things out, you know, calm with each other and her, you know, just a back and forth. If you were in that situation with your spouse, you're going to be having a conversation about what's happening right now, and that seems to be what they're doing, right? I don't see anything. I can't tell that he's doing anything wrong at this point with her. Sorry guys, it'll come back up in a second. It's a beast, and I need to name it this computer because this thing right here, she takes her time. What the hell's happened?
that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make somebody understand. I get what he's saying. I don't have a way to explain it.
And they're like, there's a witness that said it was you out there.
Dear, I don't
And
know
I'm
what.
like, how did they know it was you? And so they said they showed her a picture.
They told her that someone saw him out there, and she says, how do they know? She asked, how did they know it was him? And she just said they showed her a picture. So they're telling Kathy, we've shown someone a picture of your husband, and she's ID'd him at the bridge. You mean the place he said he was? Okay, well, where was that witness in court? Where was that witness in court? Because I don't recall there being one. Do you, Joe? Sleuthy, you still in chat? Do you recall one? I don't. In fact, not a single witness that took the witness stand was even asked to point out the assailant in the courtroom. They weren't even allowed to look at the sketches of the perpetrator in the courtroom. 2 separate sketches that we were force-fed, one for 5 solid years, one for 3. Those sketches were no longer relevant to the case.
So how do you feel about the defense not asking, can you point to Richard Allen and declare him absolutely to either be or not be bridge guy?
I don't know if that was in the rules that Gull laid out, if they could, because I would have. Okay, because I can play defense attorney right today and prosecution tomorrow. It's anybody's ball game. And right now, as a defense attorney on Rick Allen's team, which I am not an attorney, but I do sleep at Holiday Inns occasionally. Sleuthy, I'm here. What did I just ask, Sleuthy? My mind's like a million places right now. What did I my question was what, Joe? I done forgot.
Did anybody point to Rick Allen and
Oh,
say that's bridge guy? I
they
saw
just
him
told,
out there.
yeah, Kathy just told Rick that she was told by the cops that someone saw him out there, and she said, how do they know it was him? And Holman, they told her, they showed her a picture of him. So where was that person in court? No one testified to that, correct? Right, I don't think they did. That was my question, Sleuthy. Have you heard? I don't recall anybody coming into court and testifying, but they wouldn't allow, that they saw a picture and could say that was Rick Allen. And they didn't allow the sketches, like I said, which were a huge deal in the case prior to his arrest and the trial. Then they were no longer relevant. But one of the ladies who gave them sketch number 2, young bridge guy, was allowed to testify. Weird.
And I'm like, of course you were out there.
If they see me out there, they see me out there, dear. And I
But
told
were you
them,
on the bridge?
I told them I was on the bridge. I went out to the first trestle.
Oh,
And remember the three girls he talks about that he did see, they described a man. So Sleuthy, one of the girls was tall. Joe, do you recall this detail? And she said the man that they saw was taller than she was. She was 5'7", or damn near, or what was she, 5 something? Would have put the man at like 5'7" ish. Rick Allen's like 5'4". Huge difference. I will get your height wrong, but I know the difference between short and tall, right? They were my shoulder height, my, above me up by this much or whatever. Um, so, and he recalls seeing those girls, but the man they described they saw was much taller than what Rick Allen would have been. And they're the only ones that, nobody else, they marched into court except Sarah Carball. She saw a muddy, bloody man walking down the street, but that man would have had to walk past the Who's Your Harvest store camera to get to his car. But the camera doesn't see a muddy, bloody guy. And nobody but Sarah saw a muddy and bloody guy. Nobody. She was 5'7", right? Okay, that's what it was. Thank you guys in chat. Love it. Um, so she said that, she was 5'7", and she said he came up to the guy's shoulder. Wow. So see, um, yeah, telling his wife lies in there like that.
okay.
That first
I don't
thing that
remember you telling me that. You told me, so I told you weren't on it, but I didn't.
it doesn't. Hon, you're not in any trouble. You didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
Tell him, right?
Huh?
I didn't know you were on it. I'm sorry.
Well,
See, because she told the cops he didn't go out on the bridge that day. But he told the cops he did to the first platform, and now he's explaining to her, but I did go out on the first platform, and I told you about it, and they're having like, no, you didn't, yeah, you did. And then she's like, I'm sorry. That part, I was wondering a little bit about that part. Is that something that is because she's so upset, she doesn't know what to fucking do at this point? I don't feel like it was a woman who needed to say, I'm sorry to stay out of trouble. That's what I'm getting at. And so I didn't get that vibe from that. And I think she's just like, she doesn't want to say or do the wrong thing, right? And so they're having a discussion about him being on the bridge that day. Is Forrest leaving? Forrest, are you out for a little bit there, buddy? Um, okay, cool. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Forrest. Be safe out there. Um, yeah, nobody said they saw Rick Allen. Nobody could describe that guy. And the people they did describe, none of it matched Rick Allen. It's like the dude went out there and was, I think, maybe he got passed by one or more persons, but they, didn't, people, if you're just passing someone, how well are you going to look at them? Depends on my situation, because I know my surroundings. Certain situations, I'm really paying attention to what people are doing around me, what they're wearing, just in case. But sometimes I don't. I'm just like, I'm just get in and out of here, whatever. But nobody really described him, and none of the witnesses in court that talked about being out there that day could describe him. That's that's the biggest deal. Exactly. I think she thought she made it worse on him because she gave a different answer because she couldn't remember shit that happened 5 years prior. I agree, Sleuthy. That was my vibe.
don't worry about it.
You told
Hon,
me you weren't.
huh?
You told me you weren't, so I just was.
No, I told you that I walked.
Okay.
I love you, baby.
That's not a man that's about to go at his wife. Even though you know you're being watched, some men don't give a shit. I didn't see gaslighting. I didn't see him making her feel bad, stupid, none of that. And I think, she felt bad, like Sleuthy said. She didn't want to fuck up and give a wrong answer or make it worse. Not knowing, what is she believing? You got all these experts telling me it's him, it's him, it's him. It's got to be one hell of a situation to be in the moment.
I don't know what they're trying to do, but I know that that's not what I told you. And I love you. And it's just, they're not gonna get away with this.
Mine neither, Sleuthy.
This is exactly what I would never want for you, and there's nothing I can.
And I promise you, mine wouldn't have been saying anything about what he wanted for me at this point. It would have been about him. All about him.
Do about it. I'm not gonna say I did something I didn't do. I'm not.
Yeah.
And I know you know me, and I know you know that I would never do this. All I can say, hon, is you know me. I know, and I know you know me, and I know you. And what they're doing to you right now, I'm not okay with this at all. And they know it, but they're gonna do what they're gonna do. I'm just sorry you're having to hurt. I'm sorry I'm having to go through it. I mean, how? It's like I told them, the damage is already done. You've already talked to people I work with, you've talked to neighbors of mine, and I care about what people think. You know I care about what people think.
Think about it. You live in small town America and you're suddenly the man charged for that brutal murder that occurred 5 years ago. That town's about to hate you, hate your family. Rightfully so, I guess. And if you put yourself in a family spot for a moment, but the town itself, and then but speaking of the town, I can't get past the fact that they continue to come out and say our great investigation, blah 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 bullshit, when it wasn't a great investigation because you didn't have shit until Kathy found the tip in the drawer. So for 5 years, you allowed this man that you say is the killer to walk free amongst all of you and your children, and let the town live in fear, looking at each other to the point where they began to point fingers at each other. Small town America. I was sure he was long gone by then. He must have moved on. But no, he was right there working at the CVS the whole fucking time. Filling everybody's prescriptions, having beers at the local bar with bridge guy drawings right behind him that weren't allowed in court. Joe, are you still with me? Are you okay? Check in.
I'm alive. I am alive.
I had to do a Joe check-in. I noticed a minute ago I hadn't heard from you in a few minutes. I'm like, oh shit, he's either soaking this in or he's fuming, and probably both. I'm not sure. Okay.
I know.
Hell, I have enough trouble not trying to believe that people think. Half the time I just think they think what I'm thinking. You know what I'm talking about. I'm always worried about what Jory thinks, or
I know.
and they're trying to, talk about my anxiety and depression and shit, and I've tried to explain to them it's been going on for 7, 8 years. Hell, I've had it my whole life. They want me to tell them that I did it, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to admit to something that I didn't do. How stupid is that? I don't care what they do to me. I'm not going to admit to doing something I had nothing to do with.
And the description of this video people were giving doesn't do it justice, because it was testified on the witness stand, and I was kind of reviewing a little bit of the testimony earlier. I visited Sleuthy's Google spreadsheet. Sleuthy's got it going on. I love you, my go-to there for a lot of things. But the Holman's testimony on the stand, things like that. Joe, were you there for Holman's testimony, or was it Mullins? Which one was it? You were there for one of them, right?
I was there for Mullen's testimony in the 3-day trial, and then for
That's right.
Holman's in the actual trial.
And you have your notes from that day, right?
Yeah, somewhere.
Somewhere, dude, those are all the all important notes. You better clean them babies up, because we may
Right.
have to review them. We may have to do a review show over the next, well, we're both so busy this week coming up, the next few weeks, really, because after we get done with Miss Daybell here, I'm going to be doing Valo, or shit, Karen Reid up until Koberger stuff. Um, but yeah, I want to, maybe we can do like a follow up show and compare, because I was kind of looking at that today, because I just keep going back to their testimony when I'm seeing this shit, and how they made it sound when they were testifying compared to what it really was, is to me is way different.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to try to explain something I can't explain because I don't know. You tell me because I don't know. I just know that I never even carried the gun unless we were going mushroom hunting, tromping through the woods, or fishing along the river.
He's
That's the only time
focused
I
on the
even carried
gun.
it for the most part.
He's focused on the gun because that's what Holman focused on.
Yeah,
He doesn't even know how the girls were actually killed.
no. And at this point, nobody does. Remember when he was arrested, that PCA was sealed. And it was, a couple days before that, I think they had to fight to get it unsealed. Um, and when it finally became unsealed, that's when it was revealed that how they died. And they were not shot, and that puzzled everybody. They were like, okay, these girls weren't shot, but they're looking for they got these guns from the search warrant return, all this stuff. But there wasn't, a lot about no knives. Hell, there was never a knife until there was a box cutter. I know, right? The injuries said there was some sort of a knife object used. Wasn't gunshot wounds for sure. And then lo and behold, one day it was a box cutter. It's magic bullets and box cutters and magic hands and morphing pictures and word salad every fucking where.
I never even would have. Hell, I haven't carried my gun and I don't even remember a time when I used to carry it. I mean, other than going fishing, like if we were going night fishing.
It happened to
Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all totally buy that he did not carry his gun that day? Do you believe him as many times as you've heard the man say it after watching him for a little while? Do you believe him that he didn't have the gun that day?
He's
I
doing an odd shuffling of his feet during this, and I'm not sure what to make of that.
Well, remember, he's a short guy, and his legs don't touch the ground as good as everybody else's when he sits down. My pawpaw was a real short man. And I don't know, I hadn't really been. He's a little more top heavy than he is on the bottom, right? So I've really not, because he's really calm from the waist up. I mean, watching that part, really his feet, I've not, if I got a nervous anxiety, guess what? My legs are going to bounce. And if I'm in a police interrogation room and I'm being looked at for murder, I'm going to be bouncing my legs. That's why I'm saying some of this body language stuff, I would be presumed guilty so fast, it would make people's head that I would not stand a chance. I really wouldn't. That's the way I feel sometimes. I'm like, well, damn, I do that. And they're making it act like it's a big deal. But I tend to bounce my legs in certain situations or move around, move my feet, things like that. So I don't, it depends, but I'm picking up on all the other things he's doing at the same time. His facial expressions are big for me. And his right now, I'm not convinced he took that gun with him that day so far. Do you
No,
know what I mean?
I'm not
Not,
either. I'm
yeah,
not convinced one way or the other, but I am leaning towards he didn't. That's just the way I'm leaning.
yeah. I'm strongly leaning toward he didn't take it with him that day. I haven't felt yet that he was lying about it. He hasn't tripped himself up one little time. You know what I'm saying? Little things like that to watch for. I haven't seen that one time yet.
Yeah.
The bullet get out there, honey. I can't understand that.
I told you, I can't either, hon. There's two explanations. One is the bullet didn't come from my gun.
It did though, honey. They've got ballistics on it.
I get that. Then it didn't come from a murder scene. I don't know what else to say. I get that. I get what they're saying. What I'm telling you is, if that bullet came from my gun, there's no way it was found with their investigation for the murders. There's no way. I can't explain something I have no answer for. They want you to think that I done it. That's what this is all about. They want you to come in here and make me believe that you think I did it, and I know you don't. You know me too well. You know I'd never do something like this, or even be involved with something like this. So they're probably gonna come and take you away from me and go at me again. So.
And another thing to remember is when they did the searches of his home and the electronics and things of that nature, there was never any types of nefarious activity found by Richard Allen that involved children or sex, crimes. There was some horror movies, Joe.
Yeah.
We had some horror movie searches. I think he searched a couple of articles maybe about the crime. Should you live in Delphi? If it comes up in a conversation or if you hear about it at work or you're going to Google up the latest information and read about it, maybe. I do. I would. Don't look at my Google, Mr. Lawman. I'd be in trouble. Most of us would. Sorry, I have a coming off that cold and I had to cough. But yeah, there was nothing like see Sam. None of that found. It's like, so one day he woke up and decided I'm going to go out and harm two little girls without ever experiencing something leading up to that. You know what I mean? Like watching See Sam or, consuming it in some way. Was he tied to Keegan Klein, who absolutely was catfishing these young girls and receiving pictures through, social media? They didn't find any connection to Rick Allen with Keegan Klein doing any of that. So take that completely off the table. It doesn't fit a profile, is what I'm saying, of someone who just one day decides to take two little girls on a whim. Opportunity arises down the hill. With the intent, according to the state, to essay them. You guys know what that means, assault them. And then got startled by a van that passed by and instead decides to brutally attack them instead. Like, it's weird I mean, I know it happens, don't get me wrong, but there's usually some kind of precursor to stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? There was nothing in this man's history at all, except some weird ass Google searches about some horror movies, and I think that was basically really it.
Um, just tell them you want an attorney, and they'll have to let you leave. Don't worry about me.
Apply that.
I
Apply
don't know
that
what to
advice to
do.
yourself, dude. Apply that advice to yourself.
I know it's like it's sad almost. Did he think he could talk his way out of it eventually? Make it make sense to Jerry Holman? What was he thinking? He already knows they already got his DNA swab. He knows he's getting arrested, but she, you're right. He should tell her right now, honey, go home, call an attorney. Even if they couldn't afford it, they didn't know that at the time. Like you said, they tried, right? Get on it, get on it. And eventually he's gonna apply indigent and get the court appointed attorneys that he ended up with. But yeah, it was time to lawyer up a long time ago for both of them, right at this point, especially now that they've told her all these lies and she's not sure if they're lies. What is she supposed to believe when she has law enforcement telling her we have experts saying this? That's a hard pill to swallow right now. Plus, your husband, right? Kathy Allen's falling apart right now on the inside. What the fuck do I believe? I love my husband. There's no way on earth he'd do this, but they're telling me they have experts to tell me the opposite. What do you do at that moment? My mind went there immediately with this, and it really pissed me off because it was uncalled for. Because you lied to her. It's one thing to say, well, we have these images from this phone and this man looks a lot like your husband. Because granted, it could be. Further analysis needed to be done. This bullet could be. This car could be. This voice could be. We don't know yet. Preliminary investigation here. No. We got experts saying no, all that's, no, that's not what they did. So she's sitting here thinking they got all this expert shit proving her husband did all this. And he's telling her, I didn't do it, Kathy. I didn't do it. What do you fucking do? She didn't sleep all darn night. I'd have been like, where's the anxiety medicine? Where's the
Yes, you do.
There is no way that evidence is going to show that I did this.
Okay, that started abruptly, guys. It wasn't me. It just started like that. So Holman comes back into the room finally. This time Kathy's still in the room, right? And exactly, this is when it starts. Holman becomes unhinged. And here's what I thought about this. This is the man whose wife might dread him coming home at the end of the fucking day. Holman, because of the way he acted in front of Kathy Allen, but did not act that way outside her presence, right? When she wasn't in the room, he was a whole different Jerry Holman. We're about to see a man who wants to strut his shit and his authoritative figures, all the bullshit. And it really made me mad. So get prepared. It might have to fly out my mouth anytime. Joe, let it out. Don't hold it in.
Fucking here, Red.
You got one piece of evidence
I got
that I
multiple
can't
pieces.
explain.
Multiple. I'm not showing you my whole fucking hand here.
I don't care. I'm
You
telling
should
you I'm
care.
done
And
talking.
now you're gonna drag your fucking wife and your daughter through this because you're too fucking bullheaded to get out in front of this and admit that you made a mistake. And what?
First of all, look the way Rick Allen looks at him. You gonna speak that way in front of my man? See, first of all, you speaking that way in front of my wife. Now you're raising your fucking voice and shit. Dude, slow your fucking roll, cowboy.
Whatever the fuck happened out there, we'll never fucking know because you're too big of a fucking
So
bullheaded. Go ahead.
So tell you I did something.
He doesn't.
Tell me that I
He doesn't
didn't
play
do.
them at all. He leans into it. Do you see that?
Yeah.
He leans
Yeah.
into it.
You gonna play
Like you-
Billy Badass in front of my wife? Go ahead.
Bring it,
Right?
motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
The truth, Rick. I don't want to
I've
know
told you the truth and you don't want to hear it.
The evidence tells me otherwise. The evidence clearly indicates you're involved in this.
No,
I
it
saw this.
doesn't.
It fucking does.
It doesn't. I'm telling you that there is no way that a bullet from my gun was used in these murders.
And I'm telling you that we had this fucking round on February the
understand.
14th, 2017. It's been secured in a fucking laboratory. And we've tested other guns.
That people that we. I understand what you're saying.
Secured in a laboratory, and we tested other guns of other people. And then he stops himself. And I'm telling you, what about them other guns and other people? Tell us more, Holman. Tell us more. Oh, Jesus Christ. My Jesus, not Lori's.
I want her to hear this.
I understand what you're saying. What I'm telling you is, I can't explain something I don't understand.
Oh, the scientists explained it for you. The lab analysis analysts have explained that for you.
No, they didn't.
They're saying that this round, without a doubt, came from your gun.
I beg to differ. Objection. A big old objection. Because your expert that y'all put forward on the witness stand, from what I understood them to say, didn't explain shit to me. In fact, they made it worse.
Then you told me taking it from somewhere else then. Because it's not possible.
I did not take it from somewhere else. It was logged in. It was taken as a photograph. You think we fucking went and stole your fucking round and threw it down by a fucking dead girl's foot?
You might have. Oh. Do you think we took a round and threw it down by a dead girl's foot? I'm making a video about that, Holman. Do you think we took a round and threw it down by a dead girl's foot? Speaking of the victims like that, for one thing, insult to injury. And yeah, maybe you did actually. And did you step on it a little bit and smash it in there?
Fucking TV. This is realistic.
I understand.
We collected that fucking item on February the 14th. We didn't take it from.
Well, I'll show one of those guns for sure was Brad Weber. I can't recall the other guy's name. Sleuthy, if you're still in here, you probably know the other guy's name. Damn it. It was another family. This is what happens when you got like 5 or 6 cases that roll around your head at once. But yeah, there were several firearms taken from other people, right? And yeah, one was Brad Weber's, and Brad Weber lived at the end of the bridge, south end, where the girls went down the hill, and he's the one who drove the white van that allegedly came along and startled Rick Allen at 2 something, I forget the exact time, but footage came out we have that shows that van coming home later than he testified to on the witness stand, which meant he couldn't have driven by to startle Rick Allen. They also took his gun very early on in the investigation because of his I'm assuming because of his proximity to the location, right? And other things. He has a history. We'll just say that. But yeah, several other guns, and kept for months and months and months, actually.
From anywhere else but that fucking scene. And we didn't take your gun from.
That's it, Sleuthy. Maxwell, thank you. I could not remember the names.
From anywhere else. We took it from your fucking house.
I'm telling you, I can't explain something.
And I'm telling you, the fucking analysts explain it. You can't get past this.
The F-bomb, like out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
Have we heard him say the F-bomb before?
What?
Like with Kathy in the room, he just starts dropping the F-bomb like it's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he just started and he was yelling and he was aggressive and fuck this and that. And yeah, he became super aggressive with Kathy in the room compared to when Kathy wasn't in the room. Did you know what I'm saying? We all just watched the damn whole interrogation of Rick Allen. And Holman's sitting there playing good cop, bad cop, but he did not become aggressive to this nature until he was in the presence of Kathy, asserting his manlyhood and his authority, right? What are you going to do, Rick Allen? What are you going to do right now? You're going to lie in front of your wife? We got all these experts. I'm going to degrade you in front of your wife. That's what I'm doing. And it was like, okay, we see you, Holman. Did you throw that bullet down on the ground between the dead girls? That's how you described them 2 poor little girls who got deceased in the woods.
That is a really, really, really curious phrasing of the facts, though.
Ain't it, though?
That's almost like, wait, what? What are you saying might have happened? And should I maybe be considering that possibility?
Could I use that as an alternate theory upon appeal?
Could I just use that as an alternate theory as a rational human being?
Yes, beyond reasonable doubt. Now I got some reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
I call that reasonable. My reasonable and yours might be different, not you in particular, but you know what I'm saying. In general, one person's reasonable may not be another person's reasonable. And who has anger issues, right? He's an asshat.
Sleuthy, yes. Thank you. Thank
What
you
is
for that.
okay? What she
Yes.
say? Here's my thing. This match is absolutely worthless if they didn't also compare fired rounds from other guns to the one that at the crime scene. Amen. Even if it just ejecting around didn't match. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Oberg's testing was bullshit. Like
Total,
she,
totally.
and somebody in chat on the on part one of this that we did was trying to tell me, well, she didn't have any other choice, she
I
wasn't
know.
strong, she wasn't
She,
strong enough
yes,
to
I kept replying because I'm like, I'm a woman. You're right now. You're offending a lot of women who have handled guns or handle guns all the time. There are a lot of women that handle firearms, and you're sitting there trying to say she wasn't strong enough to pull the trigger, as a man would be. I beg to differ. I probably know women that can pull it stronger than a man could. Depends on the man, right? I don't
Yep.
give a shit. Um, but yeah, I know that conversation was weird, and that person was like, "You kept giving them, you kept giving them the what ups." You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the thing, Sleuthy. The firearms, that the state presented, they didn't get me there at all. And I gave it a fair listen to. I did. I was, trying to be open minded to all the evidence that we were able to hear about. I'll say that. Um, but they didn't do shit for me to get me to there to that's Rick Allen's bullet. That was weird testing to me. I didn't get why she needed to do all that to get what she got, and there was no one there to really speak against that, right? No other expert to put up against it for me to compare.
I love you, baby. Can I kiss her?
Yeah, kiss her.
I love
Do the
you,
right
baby.
thing, Kathy. Tell him to do the
It
right
was one
thing.
of the lamest
She
kisses
knows.
ever. And I'm not judging, because like if I was in that situation, like I probably wouldn't be any different, but that was pretty weak.
Did
That
you
was
hear
pretty
what?
weak.
Yeah, well, it was awkward for them both. Did you
Yes.
hear what Holman said?
No, what did he say?
Okay, hold on. If it'll start playing again. Jesus, it has a mind of its own. Y'all know that. Let me try to. Is it coming back to us?
Yep.
Photograph. You think we fucking
I
went and
don't
stole your
know.
fucking round and threw it down by a fucking dead girl's foot?
Oh shit, I went too far, but okay.
This ain't fucking TV. This is realistic.
I understand.
We collected that fucking item on February the 14th. We didn't take it from anywhere
Okay.
else but that fucking scene. And we didn't take your gun from anywhere else. We took it from your fucking house.
I'm telling you, I can't explain something.
And I'm telling you, the fucking analysts explain it. You can't get past this.
Can you
I'm telling you, fuck
please let
you,
my
Gary.
wife out?
Absolutely. Come on, Kathy.
Fuck you,
See,
Gary.
right there, when Holman continued to be aggressive, he's like, "Can you just let my wife get out of here?" He didn't like the way Holman was coming at him in front of his wife like that, which is
Yep.
bullshit. And I don't blame him. So yeah. Okay, so listen to this exchange. Oh, good Lord, I keep forgetting that it's going to do that. I don't know why. It struggles. It rides the struggle bus, apparently.
I love you, baby. Can I kiss her?
Yeah, kiss her. Do the right thing, Kathy. Tell him to do the right thing.
Right thing?
Agree?
She knows I will.
Jerry, did Jerry
You hear
just
that?
say do the right thing?
Tell him
Oh
to
my
do the right thing,
God.
Kathy. Tell him to do the right thing. Tell your husband to do the right thing, Kathy.
Good gravy.
So you've done presented evidence to her and told her without a doubt you got all these experts going to come to court and say her husband did all that and prove it. And you want her to turn around and tell him to do the right thing. Thinking that he will, Jerry? thinking that you'll get that confession you need because you don't have enough good evidence. Huh.
Right thing. You're going to put your family through this for no reason.
Wow. And that was the end of it.
Fucking dragging!
Hang on. Let me get.
You see, you're getting pissed.
Under my wife.
Okay, look. Here it comes. Here comes asshole.
You're gonna pay for what you've done to my wife.
What am I
If you
doing?
want to
What?
fuck with me, but you leave my wife out of this.
There you go.
Fuck, leave me out of it.
No, you're involved in this. You're fucking rounds there, Rick.
No, it's
I can
not.
see you're getting pissed off. I understand.
I am pissed off. Did you not see my wife?
Did you not see these fucking two girls dead? No,
I
that's
didn't.
what happened. You got fucking pissed off, Adam. You fucking dragged them down a fucking hill, and you fucking killed them.
I didn't.
Don't fucking tell me you didn't.
I didn't kill anybody.
Bullshit.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Fucking upset for a reason, not
Because you guys are trying to
because
tell
of
me I
you.
killed somebody.
You're trying to tell me that I'm not making this fucking round shit up, Rick. It is what it is.
I'm done talking. Arrest me.
Happy to. Be fucking happy to, because I tried to fucking help you and you wouldn't fucking do it.
Oh, you're helping me.
What a total piece of
Guilty,
shit.
and I know it, and I'm gonna fucking prove it.
Okay.
And I'm not paying for any of this shit.
You know
You're
what?
paying. This is on you.
Even more
This
mad.
ain't on me. It's fucking on
Hidden
you,
True
Rick.
Crime gave him a fucking.
What?
Hidden True Crime did not ask him a single fucking difficult question in that interview.
No. Not one single difficult question. Too busy trying to get the interview.
So she could get the next one with McClelland or whoever the
And all the rest of them.
Yeah.
They've
So
made the rounds on the MS too. These people, a lot of them.
yeah, so there's a cop here in the Lori Valadebo case. He was the second lead investigator, Nathan. Fuck, I forget his last name, but he's been sitting at the prosecution table here in Lori's trial, and he came in that very first day. And Lauren said, so we're standing in line. I'm first in line. Lauren is like second or third in line with her producer. And she's like, he comes in, we're talking. We're just like making casual conversations. And she goes, hey, I'd like to do an interview with you. And he's like, okay, sounds good. Like, damn, okay. I guess I need to be more like that. I just need to like reach out and just like say it.
Oh yeah, you'd be surprised. It sometimes all it takes is just reaching out, and being polite and doing it. There's a way to go about things like that and a way not to, right? So, and you never know until you do. All you can be, they can just say no, right?
Well, if you have a reputation for being pro police, then you're more apt to get an interview than if you're not. Holman, McClelland, and whoever else she did interviews with.
Well, that I'm not looking to interview prosecutors and shit like that, because I don't want to be. I feel weird about stuff like that, but I'm not that type of creator like her. You know what I'm saying? So I would never be trying to land I don't need to lean one way or the other. I don't want anything to drive me to need to lean one way or the other is what I'm saying.
Right.
If I need to be a channel that's always all prosecution or all defense to achieve something, I'm doing that for the wrong reasons. I have to look at every case individually and call them as I see them.
Yeah.
That I will never ever be that person. That's not who I am. So I don't know how any other way to be but me. So that's how
I gotta figure it out. Like
wow. Yeah,
like-
this YouTube is way different than mainstream media. Here we need to be ourselves. People connect with like-minded people, and my audience, my analytics tell me my audience is me.
Right.
Women my age who cuss. We are all a bunch of freaks.
Oh, and Tom Evans is like going to be a great interview tomorrow. Like we hit it off like right off the bat. I didn't even know that he's been like interviewed on Surviving the Survivor, and Lauren from Hidden True Crime has interviewed him multiple times, and Nate Eden has interviewed him. I didn't know any of that. We just like sat down and we were watching jury selection together. He was sitting next to me for jury selection. We just hit it off. So that's genuine, honest connection, and that's going to be a genuine, honest interview that we have tomorrow.
Yeah, see, he's doing a couple of interviews, it looks like, in different places.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure. I'm sure he's
yeah.
he is
Well, it's
under
a
high
hot
demand
topic
for
right
interviews.
now, right?
Yeah,
Right.
right.
It's a
Yeah,
hot topic right now. So it is what it is. Do you have to go now, or do you have more time? I was going to review the telephone calls between Rick and his family, or his wife and his mother.
I have
Um,
to be out the door in exactly 1 hour.
okay. Because I'm going to go ahead and finish my coverage of this today, because I've got tomorrow I'll be doing Salty Sunday with um, Miss Shorty will be here for sure. Firefly is supposed to be here as well, and we'll be doing Karen Reid update. Trial starts on Tuesday, and Miss Shorty luckily has like 10 days off, I believe it is. But what she's going to be doing is doing recaps at night of the trial. Um, until her time off starts, I think, and then I think she's going to be doing more. I think that's how she's got it planned. But she's going to be doing recaps over there at night of what's going on. So if Lori flows over and Karen starts and Lori hasn't ended yet, I'm just going to continue to finish Lori and then recap at night with Miss Shorty, and then pick up Karen. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I know how to do it.
Yeah,
Because I need to
pretty
see. I'm going to
honest.
see Lori's trial out. We've already been covering it. You know what I mean? So me and the crew will just go over and get our nightly recaps with Miss Shorty on the Karen trial. So we're going to do a show tomorrow on that to get all caught up on where we are with Karen Reid. Shorty and Firefly know way more about that subject than I do. So um, I'm going to go grab a drink when I start this. This is the jailhouse, or this is the prison calls, not jailhouse. Rick Allen was arrested in October of 2022, and within 3 days, was it? Maybe less, sent to prison. They said it was for his own protection. Um, many
Right
begged
under the safekeeping order.
safekeeping order. There you go. That was the term used by Indiana state law there to say that he needed to go to prison to be protected. And so, was he protected has always been the big question, because a lot of shit went down in that prison. So this phone call, this one I grabbed off of the news station. It's uncut. The calls all just blend. They go from one to the other. It tells you the dates of each one. So this one was one that occurred November 14th of 2022. And you guys make sure that, let me know if you can hear this, Joe. Y'all let me know.
Please hold.
Can we hear it?
Hello, this is a free call from
Ricky.
an inmate at the Indiana Department of Corrections, Westville Correctional Facility.
Can you guys hear it okay?
Yes, the audio is perfect.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Hey, are you there?
Hey, yeah.
Hey, okay.
I'm sorry, hon. I'm trying to keep this together.
Oh, hon.
I don't want to upset you anymore. All I want to do is be able to help you. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I'm not saying anything, but if it gets to a point that it's too much, you just need to call the investigators and tell them to come and get me and bring me to you, and I'll tell them whatever they want me to tell them, because whatever it is they want me to say, I'll just say it.
No.
So I want to be able to make this stand for you. And for everybody else that's hurting because of this. I love you too much. And every time I talk to you, I feel like it's going to be the last time I get to talk to you.
I know. I wish I could hug you.
I can't explain what's been going on. And I don't want you to worry about me.
Yeah.
I'm a man and I'll take care of myself. But
Guys, I just want to let you know if you hear the crackling and noise in the background, it's off the prison line because I've listened to several different audios that were out there and it all does that. So that's the noise just coming from the prison. There's nothing we can do about it. But remember, this is November 14th and he was put in jail when? October 22nd? Is that the day he was arrested? So he hadn't even been in the prison a month yet.
I'm worried about you. And that's all I do is worry about you. So, and you let everybody else know how much I love them, won't you?
You need to hang in there, honey, okay?
Huh?
You need to just hang in there because they're going to get you an attorney soon, okay?
Will you just let everybody know how much I love them?
Of course I will. They already know, hon. They all know.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Nobody loves me anymore.
Stop. That's not true.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Not true. Okay?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay.
I know what.
So you have to imagine you're just a few weeks into being thrown in prison after what all just happened with Holman's ass. And they're telling you and your wife they got all this evidence and what is everybody at work thinking? What are my friends thinking? What are my family thinking? This man is like, what the fuck? It's crazy. A lot of people who commit a lot of hardcore crimes, they go to prison, they're like, whatever, that's common. Some get real, things get real quick when they finally go to prison. But it's like you could see him starting to, wouldn't it affect you, right? If you just got thrown into a prison suddenly, never been even into a jail before, knowing what all you've been thrown in there for and what they say they have on you, that's a lot to carry.
You told me. I know what you told me and I believe you.
Yes.
I just, knowing I'm never going to see you again, or at least it feels that way. I'm just saying, if it gets too hard, just tell them to come and get me and bring me to see you, and I'll tell them whatever they want me to say.
No. It's okay.
Okay. I don't need you to try and be strong for me. Okay? You need to be weak. You need to be held. You take care of yourself, okay? Okay? I know. But you need to get the help you need. I can't hug you. I can't tell you anything that's going to make you feel better. So please just make sure if you need Mom or Greg or anybody that you're going to them, don't wait.
Okay, I know.
Did you go back to work?
No.
Okay.
They don't want me there.
They don't?
They're afraid for me.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
So work didn't want Kathy to come back once her husband got arrested because they were afraid for her. Okay. Sure they were.
They're afraid for themselves, so
Okay.
just do the best
I
I can.
understand.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, baby.
You have 1 minute remaining.
I'm sorry, baby. Just one more thing. I fucked up for you. I just love you so much, babe.
I love you too, honey.
Okay. I'm not gonna keep calling.
No,
I wish I could see you, babe. You don't know what I'd give to see you just one more time. Because I don't know that I'm gonna make it. But you just know that if anything happens.
If he was in the local county jail, she might have been able to visit her husband. That's usually how that stuff works. Just saying.
I'll see you in the next lifetime. I swear I will, okay? Okay. You take care of the family for me. I love you all.
I love you too, sweetheart.
Okay. Bye-bye. It's good to hear your voice.
I love you too,
Bye.
sweetie.
Okay. It's going to cut us off here.
Okay, I
Okay?
love you. Okay.
I love you.
I love you, honey.
I love you. I'll hold
I
on.
love you.
Thank you for using GTL. This is a prepaid debit call from
Ricky.
Okay, this call rolls all the way up to April 2nd of 2023. And this is how they were released in there's 8 calls altogether. So this one goes from 2022 in November, and now we're in April of 2023.
Hey,
Hello.
good morning.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good to hear from you.
Yeah. Been trying to get a hold of Kathy all morning, but this stupid phone system doesn't seem to be working right about half the time.
It cut us off Friday, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure it did. I got a hold of her once today, and then it cut us off before I had a chance to really talk to her, and I haven't been able to get her back since. So.
Okay.
I was just curious to see if it would let me through to you. So that's good.
They had a lot of real bad storms.
Oh, in Delphi or?
Well, in all of Indiana. There was tornadoes and everything.
I thought I heard something about tornadoes. I know we had a little bit of hail at one point, but I haven't slept all night.
They may not have internet or anything either.
You still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, if you talk to Kathy today and I haven't yet, just tell her I'm okay, and I'll talk to her as soon as I'm able to get through to her.
Oh, okay. I will.
All right. Hey, are you going to church today?
Yeah.
Good. Where are you going to church at? I didn't even know you were.
It's Story Church. It's there at the Rock Sea Theater in Peru.
Really? Why there? What made you decide to go there?
Colleen, my friend, who started going, and I started going after I wrecked the van.
When did you wreck the van?
Oh, it was in February of last year.
Oh my God, you've been going to church that long?
Well, I've been going probably for I'd say since last summer.
How did I not know you were going to church?
Well, I just started going,
crazy.
and then I decided I needed to get back with God again. And I figured He's been sparing my life for a reason all these years.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I did because I wouldn't have made it through all this without Him.
Yeah. So, did Kathy tell you that I told her the other day that I accepted the Lord Jesus Christ as my Savior.
Oh no, that's so wonderful.
That's so wonderful.
Oh,
They made a big deal about that in court. That's how I remember it. Prosecution did.
Well, they made it out to be like that's what led to his confessions,
Exactly.
because all of a sudden his faith made him sorry,
Yeah.
repentant for
He
for
found
what he
God.
had done. Yeah.
Yep. He found Jesus while he was in prison, and so did his family, and blah, blah, blah. And that made him confess.
oh,
I didn't know.
Usually, when we're at our lowest and our worst, if we can, we will put our faith in the Lord. Because when all else fails, what else are you going to try?
She told you or not, but
Our Jesus, not yours.
God's really important to me right now. I just, to hear you say that you've been going to church for that long again just makes me happy.
it makes me happy.
Makes me happy.
And that Kathy's going and all that. It just,
Yeah.
It just
Okay, well, I could go on all day, but I'm going to try to get a hold of Kathy again, and if not, then I'm going to fall asleep at some point because I haven't slept. So
yeah.
hopefully I can get a hold of her before I fall asleep, but if not, I know that I've talked to you and that you'll let her know that I'm okay now.
I will.
I will.
I've got a family that's always going to love me no matter what, and
Yes, you
and
do.
I've got God, so, and I know that Kathy's got God, and you've got God, and
Yeah.
that's good enough for me. So
Yeah.
I know that He is not going to let this last forever, and
No, it's
that
not.
we're all going to be back together eventually.
Yeah.
He'll make that happen. It may be today, it may be tomorrow, it may be 6 months from now, it may be when we're together.
So, as of April 2nd, 2023, he's still holding out hope. Not a man on the verge of confessing.
Again in heaven, that it's going to happen, and
I just think God's
Just
going to
keep
work
my
a
faith
miracle
and-
through all this.
yeah, I think He already has. I mean, Kathy sent me a Bible. I didn't accept God into my life until March 21st of 2023. So that's what, a week ago, week and a half.
Yeah.
And I know.
That's interesting. They make, it's like they make this big revelation. He found God and confessed. And he's telling his mom he's just starting that journey, right? Because it's a journey with a lot of people. And especially if you're in prison and you are confessing you are not the person, you have nothing else left to do but put your faith in God if you actually believe in God. And it sounds to me that's what's happening here. Not one of those I found Jesus all of a sudden moments, because you hear that shit too.
Never would have done it if I hadn't started reading the Bible.
You're welcome, Don, or don't dox me. I almost said Donnie does dishes. I don't know why. Phonics bullshit. You're welcome. Thank you all for being here and just listening to it with us as a community and having a conversation. That's what I love doing this for, is you guys come in and have a conversation with us and share your opinions on it as well. And he's talking to his mom now about, reading the Bible, and you know how when you read it, it does, it will tell you about forgiveness, but it also tells you how to put your faith in the Lord about some things. About
Bible,
everything, really. Jeez.
and I wouldn't have read the Bible if Kathy hadn't sent it to me. And
She's been trying for a long time to get one to you.
and I questioned, when I
Why would she have to try a long time? Was they weren't giving him his shipment that got mailed to him? We know it was way too far for her to drive for a damn visit. God forbid you let her visit her husband. You're not even giving him his Bibles?
called
Mm. I, oh boy. Kay Woodcock vibes right the fuck there. Oh boy. Mm-hmm.
her and tried to tell her that I had accepted God, I struggled to know if it was really this Bible and if this was actually a Bible, because I don't know if you know this or not, but the Bible that she got me doesn't even say the Holy Bible on it, on the front.
Yeah, but it's just worded so you can understand it better.
Sure. I didn't know if you knew that. It just, on the front it says the message, so.
Now, didn't they make a thing about that at court too? About him being confused about the Bible that his wife sent him or some shit like that? I got to go back and review that testimony, because I'm telling you, that is not what I'm. Mm-mm. I hope, man, we need those transcripts.
After I accepted God into my life or accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior and got into my life and told Kathy that, she told me that first she had to convince me that I was actually reading the Bible.
Yeah.
And then I asked her where she got the Bible from, and she said that Dr. Frank had given it to her.
Yeah.
And so today I was calling her because I wanted to make sure that the next time she saw Dr. Frank, I wanted her to thank Dr. Frank for saving my life.
Oh.
By giving her a Bible.
Yes.
Because otherwise, I probably wouldn't have a Bible today.
Yeah. She had been trying to see if one of the lawyers could get one to you and that. But she really wanted you to have the ones she'd been reading.
Okay, well, I'm going to go now and try to get hold of Kathy, and if not, hopefully I can get a hold of her tonight, because I'm probably going to fall asleep at some point.
Okay. I love you.
I love you too, Mom. Bye.
Bye.
That's going to roll into April 3rd of 2023. I was reading the comments, Lindsay. I was reading your comments. So you say they literally list paranoia and uneasiness. Do you get the vibe that he was paranoid or uneasy in the phone call? I'm curious about that. And like lack of feelings and stuff. Is that what you're picking up on that call? Or the paranoid stuff? This I can probably agree with to an extent. This other, I'm curious what your thought behind that is. That's all. Okay, so this is April 3rd, and I don't know if this is with Kathy or the mom yet.
Honey,
Yeah.
are you there? Are
Kathy.
you there?
Yes, babe. Yeah, babe.
What's going on?
I just wanted to apologize to you.
What's going on, sweetheart? Are you not
I did
feeling
it.
well? You did
No,
what?
I did it.
What?
I killed Abby. I killed Abby and Libby.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't, Darren.
Yes, I did.
Don't say
I don't
you
know
didn't.
why.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't, Darren.
Okay, when was he injected with Haldol?
Okay, that's the thing. I can't remember, Joe, and I've got to go back and dig the damn documents. I don't even know if Sleuthy's still in here because I've heard. I don't even know where I heard it. If I saw it on Twitter or someone said, "Well, that was this was before the Halidol," and I'm like, I die. But he was giving medications before the Halidol as well.
Right,
Remember?
right. So
So,
supposedly the first injection was April 13th, so this is
but
prior to that.
yeah, and here's the thing though. There are certain pills out there, including Seroquel and other things they can give you that can make you totally have horrible reactions and do horrible things just as bad. And so I don't know when the injection started versus when the actual, because remember they took the defense forever and a day to even get any information from them about what he was being given in prison. And I still don't think they have an exact count of what all he was given in prison, like a true record of it. Do you know what I mean? Um, I need to dig into that because I thought the same thing when I was listening to this. I was like, wait a minute, when did that start? Because that's important, right? Because this is the day after he talked to his mom about the Bible situation. And I get it, Lindsay, because he was confused about the Bible, but they made a really big deal in court that he made it sound like he was super confused. But to me, it sounded like that the Bible looked different. Maybe he was already starting to show because he says the next day. So maybe he was confused about the Bible being real, like legit in his brain. But was he already on the medications at that point? That's a good question, Joe, because I had the same question. Um, we need to figure that out for sure. For that next time we do a show on this, we're going to have to get that answer because it's important, right?
You're not feeling well. There's something wrong. They've messed up your meds or something there.
No, I mean,
See, Kathy knows he's on meds at the prison. She's already aware of that they've been giving him something. So he was already on some sort of regimen to begin with that they were giving him. And by this time, he's been there 5 months. So they were absolutely giving him medications prior to the Halidol injections.
evidently did it.
No, you didn't.
He said, I evidently did it. That's important. I evidently did it.
Why would you say that?
Because maybe I did.
No, you didn't, dear.
I think I did.
I
No,
think I
you
did.
didn't.
I think I did.
They are screwing.
Maybe I did. I think I did. And then she comes back and says, no, they're screwing with your meds. I listen, this shit is, let's see if it back it up. Is it working? Let's see.
With you there, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. There's
So she tells him that she's trying to get to the bottom of it because something's not right. They're messing with your meds.
something wrong. They are messing with you. They are messing with your mind.
Did Dad tell you I called?
Yeah.
What did I say to him?
I don't know. I talked to your mom, but she called me in, and we're just worried about you because something's not right.
Is there a way to talk to Dad?
No, honey, I'm not with them right now. And there's something wrong. They're screwing with you there.
What did I say to Dad?
they have done something to your food or they've done something to your meds. And if so,
To your food or to your meds. Now, if you know your spouse and you know they're normal, see, and you can manage their, they may be breaking down a little bit, they're fucking in prison, being accused of something horrible, there's bound to be some issues. But you know your spouse, unless you're married to one of them serial killers that you didn't know you was married to for 30 years, that kind of bullshit. I never got that vibe here. So for her to know, that he's not been acting right, is she legit wondering, is my husband really breaking down because he did this and he's just finally breaking down? Or is she legitimately, I think she's legitimately thinking they're messing with his shit. That he's starting to say things that doesn't seem quite right. Of course, it would be a shock if your husband started confessing to you. But if you notice a certain change in a certain way, and the lack of phone calls they were allowing, and different things like that come into play, there's things that she knows we don't know, right? At this point, still. It's just, I don't know. When he got those medications and how much he was getting, all is very important. And were the Odinist guards the ones standing over him? Because he's going to tell her in a little bit on one of these calls, I don't recall which one, they were standing over him while he was fucking talking to her. So was he being forced to tell her this stuff? We haven't seen that body cam footage yet. Will we ever? Or will it accidentally get erased? Or did it already?
well, don't you ever say you did anything, because I know you didn't.
I think I did.
No, you didn't. Why would you say that?
Because I think I did.
No, you didn't. You know you didn't.
I wish I could say I didn't. I don't know.
You don't know. See, exactly. There's something wrong. They're screwing with you.
Huh. Does that sound like a real confession? There's a lot of I don't knows in there. Not a lot of I did it and here's how. Like a true confession. There was never a written confession signed by Richard Allen. Legally. Not one time. All they have are these phone calls.
They're trying to get you to say things. They're trying to mess with your mind.
No, I deserve it, I guess.
There's something wrong. No, you don't.
I just wish they would kill me or let me apologize to the families at least.
Dear. Don't talk anymore. Just don't talk anymore. Okay?
I'm sure awake.
Don't talk anymore. I need to get a hold of somebody there.
Thank you for using GTL.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Are you there?
I am.
Hi, honey.
How are you?
Oh, it's good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear your voice, baby.
Oh, you doing okay, hon?
Oh, I might be now.
Okay.
So now they've gone to May, right? Now we're in May of 2023.
Well, I'm supposed to be meeting Brad here at a gas station to sign something, so I didn't know what that was about. But
And Brad would be the attorney for Richard Allen, one of the two attorneys for Rick Allen.
are they going to move you?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think maybe I'm losing my mind, but I'm not sure.
Oh, no. 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 So they allowed you to call, or?
They allowed you to call. That's great because that's how it happened. That usually there's like that set time that you get to make your phone calls and all that shit. Not Richard Allen.
Or have you been able to and just couldn't?
Oh, great. This is the part where it gets weird.
Yeah. I'm right here.
Oh. Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah. What's going on, hon?
I don't know. I just think maybe I've lost my mind.
Oh. No, honey. We've all lost our minds at this point.
So Brad and so I can trust Brad and Andy then?
Yes, you can, sweetheart. Yes.
Interesting statement, right? Because of course you would think you could trust your attorneys. Why would you not? People are going to, oh, he was paranoid, whatever. He was already considering where he's been already all this time and who's guarding him all this time and the things we know that were happening during that time. Did he know who he could trust? I don't think he did know who he could trust. And you really need to trust your defense attorneys, right? And he's going to have to just take his wife's word for it at this point.
Let's not talk about anything that we don't need to, but no, there are lawyers, honey. There are lawyers.
Well, I need to tell you something anyway.
Okay. Are you sure you want to talk to me over the phone?
I think I have to.
Okay.
I need you to know that I did this.
What? No. No, you didn't, dear. There's no way. There's no way, dear.
Love me.
Dear, there's no way. Okay.
I hope you still love me.
I always will gonna love you, honey, but
So he began to receive them in April, mid-April the 13th. And look, an injection on May 11th. This call here was May 10th.
no, you have not done anything.
And I'm sure that Joe got that from a document, guys. Oh, come on.
And I think you are not well. So you don't need to be saying you did something you didn't do.
Well, hon, this is the first time I've been able to talk to you, and I've been trying forever.
Were you just not allowed to call me, or?
I don't know what's going on, hon.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to lose my mind now, though.
Well, don't.
Cool. Thank you, Joe.
I'm supposed to be meeting Brad here for some reason, so. I don't know what's happening.
I've been asking for personal visitation, and that's not going through, and
I know.
then it's taken me, feels like it's taken me forever.
You have 1 minute remaining.
It's okay. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just trying to be at peace with things.
Honey.
And I had a dream that I needed to let you go, and I didn't know how to let you go, and...
Well, then you're dreaming stuff again. Okay? That's all it is. You don't...
You know, dreaming is a side effect from a lot of different medications that are prescribed for the mind. Just saying.
Don't be talking about anything on the phone negative like that. Okay?
But I have to let you know that I did it, hon.
Dear. No, you didn't. There's no way. There's no way.
Thank you for using GTL.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, it's me.
Yeah.
I need to know if you still love me, baby.
So this call is the same day.
Yes, dear.
Okay. And everybody else will as well? Honey?
Yes.
Because I may have to spend the rest of my life here, or...
Stop talking about it, please. That's not true. Okay? Okay?
I don't understand. I just got to know that everybody's still going to love me.
I love you.
Because I may only be able to see you one last time. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank you. It's not true.
It's true, honey.
No, it's not.
Yes, it's true, honey.
No, it's not. You're not well, sweetheart.
I'm well.
No. No, you're not.
Yes, I am, honey. I just hope that you'll still love me, because I may only, if I get the electric chair, or if I get the death penalty.
No. No. No, honey, that's not going to happen. No.
If it does, will you be there for me?
Yes. It's not going to happen, dear.
Do what?
Nothing. This isn't right. They messed you up so bad.
It's okay, honey. I did it. I did it, dear.
Stop.
I cannot stop. I've got somebody here listening to me right now, dear.
Wait, what? What?
I'll back it up. I'll back it up. Hope I don't go too far. Yeah, I can't stop, and I've got someone here with me right now.
Listening to me.
Was that Sergeant Randy with the Odinist patches? Maybe?
No. I did it. I'm sorry.
I don't. I killed Adam there.
No, you didn't. Stop. Stop saying that. No, you didn't.
I knew I was supposed to let you go. I was trying to let you go.
Stop. Dear, we're going to be back together.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Oh my gosh.
Did I not go back far enough?
No, you did. You did.
Okay.
This is a woman that loves and believes in her man.
I hope you're always going to love me.
I think Chad agreed.
No matter what. Will you always love me, baby?
Who's with you? Who's with you? Who's with you? Who's with you?
Who's with you? Is that what she's asking you? Who's with you?
If your lawyer's not there, you need to stop talking.
Sounds like it.
Who's with you, honey?
Yeah, who's with you?
Thank you for using GT.
Fuck.
Hi.
So this, I think, is with Mom, and it rolls to May 17.
Here.
Hello?
Hello? Hi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, how you doing?
Oh, I'm all right, I guess.
Yeah. It's good to hear your voice.
So did Kathy tell you that I did it?
We're not going to discuss this, okay?
And you notice each time they tell him we're not going to discuss this, he continues to discuss it. And people will say, well, it's because he needed to get it off his chest. He wanted to confess all this. Or was he told you keep going? You keep talking.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. We love you, you know that, don't you?
Regardless?
Yes.
And do you know if Kathy's okay?
Kathy's doing okay. We've been holding each other up.
I'm just worried that you guys aren't going to love me because of the fact that I said that I did it.
Ricky, I just know you're not in a good place right now. And I'm praying for you, and we will always love you. No matter what. But just saying it doesn't mean you did it.
Well, it does when I did.
Rick, don't talk like this.
No, he said, I'm worried you guys won't love me because I said that I didn't. He didn't say, I'm worried you won't love me because I did it.
Yeah.
It's contradictory at best.
Yeah.
I think they're...
Yeah, this is a phone call between Rick and his mom. And Butterfly, I'm not sure on that last call you mean, because it did kind of just like end abruptly. So I'm not sure if it was just the way it ended or what was going on with that.
Just
I think they were out
with
of time.
Yeah.
No, Mom, they're not. I love you, though.
What are you doing? I love you too, hon. I just know you don't have it in you to do something like that.
Mom. I wouldn't sit here and tell you I did it if I didn't.
Well, if they're messing with your meds and all that, yeah, you would.
Mm-hmm. Why do they keep wondering that, I wonder?
But we're not going to discuss the case anymore.
So if I did do it, then you guys don't love me anymore?
I will always love you no matter what.
Okay.
And that you can count on that.
Okay.
There's nothing that would make me ever stop loving you.
It's good to know.
Are they letting you call again?
Are they letting?
Well, right now I am.
Have you gotten any of my letters?
I'm not really getting mail anymore. Again.
I write you every day.
He hasn't been getting any mail, even though his mother writes him every day. And he's not making a lot of phone calls. They're not allowing him to have those phone calls. And we learned that when he was taken from his cell, from solitary confinement, down to make the phone calls, shackled, mask on, all kinds of shit, and trailed down there by this little group of armed guards. Like, he's the worst murderer the U.S. has ever seen. Granted, whoever did that to those little girls is a monster, but there's a bunch of monsters out there. This one was treated differently. If he's the guy.
Great. There's something else to share with my therapist.
Oh, they're letting you talk to her again?
And they always have been letting me talk to her.
Oh. Just once a month or on a regular basis?
No, she's coming and seeing me every day.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear.
All right. Well, I'll let you go.
Okay, hon. I love you.
Yep. Tell everybody else I love them.
Okay. Bye, hon.
Bye. Okay.
Hello?
So now we're going into June 5th of 2023. And I think this one's with Kathy. I think.
Hello?
Hey, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Maybe.
Hello.
Need to get you some coffee.
Yeah.
Get your coffee or snacks or whatever you need, babe.
Oh, I hate spending that money when I don't even know where it came from.
Sounds like.
Doesn't matter. It's in there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about it. Somebody's thinking of you, so I wouldn't question it.
Didn't they say something about that in court as well? Like, they weren't just like reading the transcript from the call that was played or whatever, but they were talking about him talking about not wanting to spend money and all this. Like, it made it sound like he was tripping out, like tripping balls. But he knows they don't have any money, so where's the money coming from, right? And you feel, I don't know. I didn't find it odd. But then again, this is June and he's been getting injected with drugs, so there's no telling what the man was thinking at this point.
Oh, Lord. What a mess. Good grief. You know, just when I think I've got everything, I don't understand my thought process on clothing. I really don't. Stupid. It's stupid. Just trying to get better about that. Oh, Lord. Here we go. What did you have for breakfast or lunch today?
Oh, had some kind of eggs this morning. It looked like
Yeah.
something fairly normal. So weird talking to you.
What, sweetheart?
So it's just kind of weird talking to you.
Why? Why would it be weird?
I don't know. It just is. Everything's weird in here anymore.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I've lost my mind, gone to hell or something.
Well, we're kind of living it right now. It's not a good place to be in. Not a good place at all. And I don't have much say in anything, I'm sure.
But you know that I done it, right?
Dear, I don't want to talk about that. Okay? Want to have a good conversation between us? And I just don't, I guess it doesn't matter what I think, but
Of course it does. Just in a really frustrating spot right now.
Right.
I said I'm just in a really frustrating spot right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that that's nothing compared to where you're at, so I'm not trying to...
No, your side is a lot worse than mine. I have freedoms that you don't have, so I'm not going to go there. And I feel guilty about that.
I don't know why nobody will talk to me and be honest with me.
We're not going to get that there, dear. They've already got the mindset. Don't care. You didn't do it. That's just prison. There's another number. But
I just don't feel like anybody's willing to be honest with me anymore. Like everybody's afraid to hurt my feelings or something.
I just think people have to be very careful when they talk. And we all do. If I could get a chaplain in there to pray with you, would that be okay? I mean, I've been trying to get a hold of somebody, but of course nobody ever answers. You have to go to voicemail, and it's full. So, but if I could get,
I had a chaplain pray with me once, but it just doesn't.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to help me any.
Well, and it's okay because, I mean, praying to yourself is going to be very helpful. It's helped me immensely. And there's plenty of people out there praying for you. So you just got to pray the bad thoughts away, hon, and try. And the demons are fighting hard to get you.
I know, I feel like they've already gotten me. I'm already in hell.
No. Well, you're kind of in physical hell right now, but your soul doesn't need to be. It's God, not anybody else's. I hope you understand that.
Yeah. I'm sorry I ever questioned the Bible that you got me about asking it. Because I've got another one in here now. It says the Holy Bible in it.
Yeah.
He just told her he was sorry for questioning that first Bible, and now he's got the one that says the Holy Bible on it.
It says basically the same.
Thank you for using GTL.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
You know, maybe he was unsure that that's really what Kathy sent him, that first Bible. If it didn't look like a real Bible to him, maybe he was suspicious, wondering, did these freaks send me this Bible that's in here? Or did they give me this? You know what I mean? It doesn't look right. Huh. Interesting. It's June 11th, 2023. You still with me, Joe? Is there anybody out there? Joe may have had to step away, take a little break.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
You multitasking like I do sometimes.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, it's crazy. These calls are almost done. We're almost through with these calls, actually. Again, everybody, thanks for coming in and hanging out with us and reviewing this stuff with us. We'll go ahead and let it continue. There we go. Didn't. Okay.
Hey.
Okay. Hi.
I did it. Kathy?
What?
I did it. Do you still love me?
Yes, dear. But you didn't do it.
Why do you say that?
Why do you say it?
I don't want to upset you.
I'm already upset.
I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I've lost my mind.
Honey, you can't call me and talk like this, okay?
No need to worry, right? Dr. Monica Walla is on the case, treating him routinely at the prison. She's doing a real good job, isn't she?
You're killing me.
I'm so sorry, baby.
I can't talk to you right now.
I didn't want to do this. Honey, I'm sorry. You're not going to do anything to yourself, are you?
No.
Probably going to have to kill myself now.
Stop. You can't be calling me and talking like this.
You don't have anything to do with it.
It doesn't matter.
Why are you so mad at me?
I'm not mad. I'm upset. I'm heartbroken. Big difference.
I can't tell you what's been going through my mind. I feel like I'm already in hell. Was waiting on the Bible from you, but I don't understand what's going on.
Neither do I.
I guess I'm just going to have to stop calling. I'm sorry. Okay.
You can't call me honey if you're going to talk like that.
I'm going to talk like what?
I can't be talking.
Thank you for using GTL.
Yeah, Reid. See you later, Richard. Thank you. I don't know if I gave you one of my cards. There it is. I had to give it.
Okay. That was the end of the phone calls, guys. Enrolled into the playlist. I had it on into the interviews. But so yeah, we reviewed the Mullins and Liggett interview yesterday and started the Holman interview or interrogation rather. Finished that today, and then this evening we have watched or listened to the calls from the prison. Um, that was a lot to take in, wasn't it, Joe?
Yeah, that is one incredibly strong and loving woman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Can you see why Bob Mata kind of? I listened to him like a really long time ago describe her once after seeing her at one of the hearings, and and I know they kind of, I don't know how good their friendship is. I'm not even going to speak for Bob Mata, but I know they have a relationship. And when he walked out of court that day with his arm around her at the end of, after he was found guilty, he, um, so he's kind of got a little relationship there with her, and I could see why, you know, support. There's nothing wrong with supporting her. There's nothing wrong with supporting families of, like, say, Brian Koberger. Even his family deserves whatever support comes their way, just like the victims' families do as well, because it's hard on families regardless. And it's just she probably felt so alone when this first happened, right? Remember, she lost her job, and then she had to sell the house. My husband's in jail, prison, no job. I've lost my job. She can't pay for that house anymore. She can't pay for a defense attorney. You know, I guess she's, by this point, it sounds like she had done gotten with Andy and damn, the attorneys Baldwin and Rosie. So it sounds like she's been talking to them, and they're telling her what their theory is. You know what I'm saying? We believe in your husband, and we're going to do this, because they're saying don't say anything, don't talk. You can tell they've already spoke with these attorneys. That's my take on that, and they know more than Rick knows at this point, because even the attorneys are having a hard time getting to him. Remember, it's crazy. I've never seen, like, that Holman interrogation was insane. Like, that last part, especially when he blew up and all that shit in front of Kathy, the way he acted, and um,
Yeah, slamming his hand on the desk and yelling
mhm.
and screaming is just
Yeah, like he was so
ridiculous.
it was weird because he was so one way during most of that interrogation, and to sometimes so soft spoken you couldn't even hear the damn thing. And then Kathy comes in and he does that on purpose. He starts acting like a fool because Kathy's sitting there. That is the only reason why he did that shit. And then when Kathy left the room, then he got super aggressive with Rick Allen. He was trying to provoke him and push buttons, almost. Can I push him and show his anger? Do you know what I'm saying? Even through all that, Rick finally did tell him, "Hey, you leave my wife out of this. Let her get out of this room." Because even when he started cussing and dropping the F bombs in front of Kathy, the look on Rick's face was like, "How fucking dare you?
Yeah.
Speak to me or my wife like that in front of, all this is bullshit." So, yeah. I appreciate you, Joe, for coming up and co-hosting this part two series here with me. Um,
It was
I've
good
been trying.
spending time with you again. It's been a
Yeah,
hot
it's
minute.
it's been a hot minute. We've both been busy doing our things, and well, I'm streaming the trial. You're at the trial, Lori Vallow, and then you're giving the recaps at night. I don't think I have a mod in here tonight, just me and you. I need to Butterfly, I gotta remod you, girl. Are you, if you're it, let me know in the DM if you're cool with it. If you're not, I get it. If you're busy, but if you want your wrench back, please tell me. I'm like, please, so I have a backup. Let me grab Joe's link. I'm gonna drop it in chat for anybody who may not have it. I'm pretty sure most of you do, because Joe's, like I said, he's covering. He's boots on the ground for Lori Vallow Daybell trial in Arizona. I don't know why I almost couldn't get that out. Hang on, guys. I trying to type. I couldn't do two things at one time almost. Anyway, so at night, Joe, tell us what you're doing at night so I don't get it all messed up while I grab this link and drop it in.
Okay, so we're doing a co-stream recap every night with Trial TV Live. So he takes really good notes, and I take pretty good notes. So between the two of us, we have a lot to talk about the notes, but I also have some insight into things that you can't see on the court TV stream, like what the jurors' reactions are, what Colby's reaction is. Uh, it's a lot to keep track of, but I'm trying my best.
Mm-hmm. You guys are doing a great job over there recapping at night like that. And the discussion, around what happened that day. Um, it's a crazy trial. I mean, a lot of it's been the story of what happened, leading up to what happened, but the two witnesses so far that brought it were Nancy, Joe, and Kay. That was epic, both of them. I've made a couple of videos on with Kay. I got Nancy Joe to go. Sparks flew, man. That's all I can say. Um, I really felt, Lori was no match for Kay Woodcock. So
No,
that
and,
must have
and
been really.
she knew she wasn't too. She knew she
Oh my
wasn't.
gosh, that had to be epic to see because Lori's whole demeanor was just. You know how aggressive she was with Nancy Joe. you know she was with Kay. It was very different. She was a reserved Lori. She was a little intimidated Lori. She was I better tread lightly Lori. And even like when she wanted to pursue Nancy Joe with the questioning about what did you and Charles talk about, and the judge was like, wasn't that the witness? And when judge was like, do you sure you want to go there? Because if
Yeah,
Lori
it's
opens the
like,
door, right?
do you want to open that door? That's a pretty big door to open.
but
And so
and what
she's
is
like,
and what
she's
is
like,
that door?
I want to go to lunch, and then
Yeah.
we come back from lunch, and she doesn't open the door after
And
lunch.
what is that door, though? Is so that the important thing is that door she opens would be to bring the kids into the
Yep,
testimony.
yep,
And that's when the jury would find out those kids are no longer alive.
yep,
Here's the thing, though. If you're the jury, are you wondering where Alex is and where Tylee and JJ are?
yep.
These three people that keep getting talked about that were there the day of the crime,
100%.
of the murder.
Yep.
If I'm a juror, I'm like, that'd be one of my questions every day is like, where's these kids at? Where's Alex? So anyway, interesting trial, you guys. I'll be back on that Monday, covering the trial all week for the rest of the week. Joe, how do you think it's moving along so far? I'm gonna give you Monday. I'm gonna do a recap before the trial starts on where we are the first week, like a recap on the first week, witnesses that we went through, and how many we have left to go. So working on that. So
Yeah. So I'm with
what do you?
Nate. I asked Nate how long he thinks the trial's going to go, and he
Uh
said
huh.
he'd be surprised if it lasts longer than April 30th.
That
Um,
long?
right? Right.
I'm like, that long? No way. No way. I don't see it. Week and a half.
Right.
How many more witnesses could they have? I mean, they don't. I've already seen the rest of Lori's witness
Well,
list. I don't.
the state has about a
You have the
dozen though.
states.
The state has like a
Yeah,
dozen. Yeah.
yeah. Some of those they may get through quickly though, depending on what they were for, right?
Well,
What they're testifying
if
to,
she doesn't cross them, like she didn't cross uh,
right?
the Celebrite
There
expert,
was a
she did.
couple. Celebrite, Serena, she
Yep.
didn't cross, right? So
Yeah.
there's a couple times she didn't cross-examine. So, yeah, and it took her like 30 seconds to get to Kay's cross-examination. She just wanted to stand there, and Kay's gonna swivel in her chair like, "Bring it, Lori,
What you got?
bring it, girl, bring it." I was like, "Get her, Kay, get her, Kay." It was so fun. It was great to see. I felt like Kay maybe was able to release some stuff, but like, I do have a piece I'm going to share on Monday, but Kay talks about the experience and how just draining it actually is, right? And we
Is
had
that the one with? Is that the one with just? Is that the one with Justin Lum?
yes, so I'm going
Yeah,
to present that on Monday for the crew to see because I'm sure they'll be interested to see that.
that was a good one. That
Because
was a good one.
it's gotta be draining, like she described, right? So emotionally draining that I'm sure it's a release at that moment. And at the same time, once it's done, it's like, whew, I can finally breathe, and that's when you're done. You're just like dead weight, right? It's just like crazy.
Yeah,
But I love,
you got to show the one with Colby too. Nate Eaton interviewed Colby right afterwards, and it's
okay,
just like a minute. It's like a
I
minute
know
and a
that
half.
Okay, I know that's out there, but I do need to grab that to show as well because that would be interesting. Um, I just, I felt like I felt bad for Kay. I mean, we all do, I think, and but she showed so much strength with Lori, and she's had so much time to sit with that and think about that, what that was going to be like, right? She didn't have that opportunity to confront her in that way in Idaho with either trials there, but here she did
Right.
for her own brother's murder. So it was Kay's time to shine. And what I loved the most was, how Lori would quip back at Nancy Joe. Nancy Joe would answer the question Lori presented, and Lori would come back with a little comeback. Oh, I bet, or whatever it was she was saying, and the judge had to get onto her once for saying shit like that. But then when Kay testified, Kay brought that shit right back at Lori, and I loved it. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
no, because you didn't tell me, right? And when she went to go testify, Kay drinks her water and says, "Oh boy,"
Hmm.
and then Lori starts. But and there was what was the second thing Kay did? There was about when Charles passed, when you found out. And Kay says, because you didn't tell me. And every time I hear that, I just laugh. It's like, bring it, Kay.
Yeah.
The jury's going to wonder about those statements, right? You can't unhear that now. Just like they couldn't unhear Lori quirping back at Nancy Joe, even though the judge got onto her. They still heard that shit. So it'll be interesting. Oh, well, thank you, Butterfly. Hold on one second, guys. Okay. Thank you, Salty Joe, mods in chat. Everyone have a great night. And absolutely, thank you all for being here, tuning in to Joe and I while we review this Delphi document stuff. I'm sure more will come out over time. We still are waiting on a lot to come out still. A lot of exhibits that haven't come out yet, haven't been released. A lot of people have paid a lot of money for a lot of FOIA requests that have not been honored. So it's a weird thing. And the only reason those other documents I was speaking of in the beginning were released is because the appellate court wanted to look at them. So like I said, there's a lot of documents there. I'll go through them. Like Sleuthie was saying, there are a lot of like financial stuff. So I'll see what's there. But again, Joe, thanks for coming in and do it with me. I'm going to let you go. I know you've had a busy week and you got a busy week ahead. So I appreciate it. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. No, I will not. I'll be back at 11 a.m. Central. So that'll be 12 Eastern. And I'll have Miss Shorty here. And Firefly should be here as well. And we'll do the Karen Reed show. And then back to Arizona on Monday for Lori's ass. And guess what? I think there's a Koberger hearing next week. Huh. Dude. What's happening here, guys? All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Joe. You all have a great night.
Thanks, you too. Good night, everybody.
Video. Please like and subscribe and follow. Much love from Little Yas to